At the mesa of a mountain in the land of trickery, we find a forest. Withered trees of dull green and brown packed tightly to paint the scene as a thick fog rolls outward and down the cliff sides. A sad state for a forest, but a perfect place for a hideout. Beyond the fog, beyond the trees, beyond the illusions, we see a lush forest teeming with life, leading to a village brimming with energy. As the organization responsible for monitoring magical anomalies and fighting back against the corruption of magic, the clan of Cauldareen won't be caught sleeping. We see teams of agents returning to base via the teleportation circles on the outskirts of the village. Robotic creatures crawl the treetops of the deceiving forest, monitoring the permitted. And we find new recruits to the clan of Cauldareen hard at work.
Hello there, I am Myri. I play Brutus, the human paladin. Consider yourself a warrior.
Hi, my name is Mustafa. Name so nice you gotta say it twice. And I play Tear, the fallen star ASMR druid. And you know what they always say, if you aim for the stars, you'll hit me on your way down. It's great.
Hello. My name is Grim Songbird, and I'm playing Hiccup, the wild magic sorcerer lizard folk. Is he dead yet? Cause I'm hungry.
Hi, I'm Amelia Som, and I play Teryx, the Drow Blood Hunter. And no, I will not be doing that.
Hi, I'm Ivy, and I play Ruby, the Fire Genasi Arcane Trickster Rogue. What do you mean he's a plotted plant again?
Last time on the Cauldareen Chronicles, a tense moment for the party as a high-ranking member of Cauldareen makes herself known. Team 7 is on the scene. Identify yourself. Certainly, Darwin, Protector of Cauldareen, Senior Member, Rank 8. Were-Tiger Fenris Black arrives just in time. Nice night for a walk, Darwin. You should ask Anafe yourself. After all, she was Team 10. A false alarm, a new team of recruits, and the realization there's more secret to this organization. Morning dawns on a new day, and Team 10 departs on their next mission, hunting down Altair Motive, the halfling, and his half-orc bodyguard, Bennett. And we pan up to somewhere underground in the city of Gimdry. A team of recruits step out of a portal, a familiar face greets them, and an arm is chopped off. Please refrain from killing anyone. I'm certain this is only a misunderstanding. A bolt of chaos tears through a man, another cut down by Brutus, and an overzealous Jarvis slits the throat of his attacker. Oh dear, I didn't mean to do that. With this, their contact's rescued. Team 10 gets brought up to speed. Their target is somewhere in the city. Brutus and Teryx invent roast sandwiches. The others test out a suit of armor, and Luna Featherbox makes an appearance. He wants to take little old me around the place because I simply can't help myself. He's an idiot, dear. The way I see it, y'all have two options. The shadow market might bear fruit, or an underground fighting ring might be more their fancy. A commitment to fight, a moment to explore, and a run-in with their target. How will they fare in a fight? What will they learn about these mysterious tattoos? And why did no one make roast sandwiches before this? These are the questions of the night. These are the Cauldareen Chronicles. And that's how the fuck you dive into a show, am I right, people?
Yes.
Roast sandwiches.
Now, I don't know if I should leave you on the battle music, like make it really intense, or if I should let y'all chill because you just ran in to the person you're trying to find after Ruby, your leader, let you all on a fucking like field trip unchaperoned leave the building, and 5 steps out, you have gotten into trouble.
It's not our fault, okay? Not our fault. And
I mean, I did kind of tell him where we were staying.
You know?
Brutus is gonna sigh and turn around and start to go back into the ball.
Yeah. Wait, Brutus. Okay, we should figure out how do we want to deliver this news, because I feel like Ruby was having a really good time, just enjoying a drink to herself, and I think perhaps we should, ease it in. Don't just want to be like, hey. Yeah, so we should have a game plan.
What if
That's what
we
I'm saying.
go and get sandwiches, and then on our way back we bring her a sandwich with us, and then we tell her?
I do worry. I feel like because they know where we live and Ruby is here where we live, I just don't want her to get murdered or jumped or something.
Yeah.
Do they-
Every time we go to get sandwiches.
Do
Probably
they
just
know
go.
who Ruby is?
No, I feel like
No.
Ruby appreciates straightforwardness. Also, in sandwiches, what we're going with, because I was thinking bread squoosh.
Bread squish.
Yeah.
I do like
Squish.
bread squish because you do squish the bread. That makes a lot of sense.
But not
Yeah.
the point.
We can workshop
Does-
it later. We
does.
can workshop it. But I like the brainstorming that's going on. Yeah, we'll just go in. Are you breaking the news? Am I breaking the news? Maybe we take an adorable little star and have them tell her. Derek says, just
Me?
grabbing your cheeks. Look at this face. You can't get mad at this face.
Deeply tempting, but I also can't just throw that face under the wagon.
Well, no, he's just delivering the news. We won't say it.
I
we
mean,
won't say it's his
look,
fault.
I told him where we're staying. I can just break it to her. I'll own up to my error.
Let's just do it together. We'll
Let's just do it, yeah,
Go
just
in
walk
and
inside.
it's
Okay.
fine. It's fine. Let's go.
Okay.
Yeah, we're walking
All say it at the
inside.
same
Just- we're gonna
time.
walk in.
Okay.
Yeah. Count of 3, we all just open our mouth and say whatever comes up.
Ruby's literally sitting in the corner where she was doing her own reconnaissance
Mm-hmm.
from watching and trying to
Worst
figure out
quarterback.
what the people in this town are like, and just enjoying a drink, and looks up and kind of squints a little as you've literally been gone less than 5 minutes.
We've
I'm
been
gonna-
gone less than a minute.
Holding a drink and just kind of puts it down.
I'm gonna
I'm
slide
gonna-
in right next to you and just.
I'm gonna sit across from her.
Hi.
Hey.
I'm gonna
Hey.
stand.
So we have another snag.
Not
In our
snag. I
operations.
think we finished most of the mission.
Yeah,
mean-
actually, honestly, this could be a plus.
You were gone 3 minutes. What do you mean?
So
We're
efficient.
efficient.
What?
Mhm.
You remember Bennett that you
The
heard
whole
about
reason.
that
Mhm.
Brutus
Art.
and I met at the Playful Pine? He kind of bumped into us.
Ruby,
By
you
bumped
look
into us,
so
I mean,
good
he just-
today.
Yeah,
You look
he
amazing.
he walked
want a
up to
bread
us
squish?
and we started talking. I'm hoping he doesn't suspect that we're here for our reasons, but he now knows that we're here.
Wait,
and
out
we
of
stayed
We should
in
have
character,
this
told him
tavern.
about the bread squish. We should
out
have
of
told him
character
we were here to
question,
invent the bread squish.
who got a bad vibe from him? Somebody got
Good girl.
yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, no. Okay. I'm just gonna hair behind her ear, just being very kind. Yeah, I do think he kind of really wants to murder us. I think he wants us really dead, and he does know where we're staying now. I just think that's a really good color on you. It just goes so well with the red. You look amazing. You look
Murder?
fantastic. Just
Murder
throwing
is a
that
good
out there.
color on Ruby?
Well, I mean, I think it would suit her. You're very capable of murder if you want to be. Unless you don't want that, then that's fine. I don't think
He
you
just
kill
kind of
people.
brings
Hey,
her hand
Terex,
like a praying to her lips. Just
roll a stealth check.
Wait, the fuck?
Also,
Oh, that I got a little ramp on that. What are stats?
What are
18.
Okay. Proceed.
What are stats but
Yeah.
D&D?
while this conversation is happening, Bruce is like, I don't know what. I'm just gonna keep an eye out, in case Bennett comes back
Ruby
here.
literally just brings her
Have more
in
than
a, in
2
a
seconds of a head
praying
start.
hands, brings her fingers to her lips of. Okay, so let me get this straight.
Mhm.
You walked out
I-
for 3 minutes.
Less than that, even. Yeah.
Right,
Yeah.
right,
Mhm.
less than that, sure. Immediately ran into Bennett,
Yes.
our target,
Correct.
Mhm.
and told him we were staying here.
That would seem like the series of events.
and he seemed like he wanted to murder us.
Murder us so bad.
I think the
Ruby,
murder was probably because
roll
we
a
didn't
stealth
offer
check.
him
Okay.
food.
Stealth
Like
check.
Food squish, bread squish.
Wait, grab my dice
Yeah,
here.
bread
First roll.
squish.
What are stats?
Right?
That's
I was
our
like, oh.
bad luck persevering.
All
I'm
right, that is
telling
a
you.
17 plus 5. 18.
Okay,
So 22.
excellent.
I can count.
How are you feeling, Ruby? I feel like this is a lot to dump on your plate.
Yeah. Cool. Thank you for coming back and immediately telling me.
Yeah. Keeping my eyes on the door.
Right. Jarvis is upstairs, correct? Like they're still here. Asking
think
to
so,
see him.
yeah.
Yes. Cool. Ruby's going to kind of be like, I'm going to go talk to Jarvis now. Okay.
So, are we still cool to go do recon, or is that
You know,
still kind of interested in looking at some things that might be going on?
It's not like we're gonna go by ourselves.
Yeah, we could buddy system.
Yeah.
And
Strength
I
in
don't think we
numbers.
can die in public.
Yeah, that would be illegal. So we have that going for us.
yeah, because
will say-
legality is totally what I'm worried about right
Of
now.
course.
I
I just
think-
sort of
I think-
assumed, you know, you're the one who has to use this sort of paperwork. So
I was thinking more there's gonna be people watching if we get murdered in public. At least, just don't go down dark alleys.
yeah, on the bright side, at least we know they're here and we know where they are. I mean, we didn't tail them, so we have no idea where they're going, or really their plans and the specifics. But I guess we have more information. They don't. Well, I was gonna say they don't know what you look like, except then we came and all started talking to you. So I'm sure they can connect those two dots now. So
Right.
teamwork.
I should probably not leave you alone. If we are gonna go, somebody should probably stay with you, Ruby. So that way we're at least like 2 and 2. So if you do get murdered, somebody can tell the rest of the group.
Yeah, someone can avenge your death. Or you could avenge someone else's death. Or maybe no one
Probably.
dies. Actually, would be the
To be
better
completely
situation. No one
honest.
dies.
The amount of times murdered have already been mentioned in the stream.
So much murder, so much death. Can I think back on like our old before we knew that Bennett and the name other
Altair.
person-
Tear.
Bennett and the
Altair.
Jets.
Dang it, now that's all I can think of.
Same.
Can I think back to our first meeting? Because like I don't remember getting a murdery vibe from these people before. Can I try to think back on if there was like anything they said that was like out of place, or like they had specifically wanted to be around us? Like, because running into them in one place and then running them into them here, like right in front of the place we're staying again, is like a pretty weird coincidence. I don't know. I guess I just want to try to think if there was any weird things I remember from that meeting with them that seemed like maybe they were tipped off about like who we were. Does that make sense?
Roll a. Okay, so if you're trying to think about how they've acted towards you and piece through it, that's
Yes.
insight. If you want to remember all the stuff they said, sort of thing, that's like a history check.
I think insight makes more sense for what Brutus is trying to think through right now.
Okay, so go ahead and give me an insight check, Brutus.
Okay. 10.
A 10.
Yep.
So essentially what you said is when you first met them, you didn't get any hostile vibes from either of them. They were just about themselves, very confident, just enjoying their time at the Playful Pint. And they were just tipping performers and catching you up on the history of the area. They were very well versed in it, or at least Altair was the talkative one. And that's about what you remember, exactly as you remember it. You're right, you don't remember any hostile vibes. And in this encounter, it was also a approach, but this is Bennett who was talking to you this time. And Bennett was the one all by themselves this time doing the talking. And you didn't necessarily get that hostile vibe this time either.
True.
It's just Bennett was checking as to why they ran into you twice.
Fair. Okay. Oh, thank you.
So Ruby is going to look at them. Was it just Bennett?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
No.
No? No, he was by himself, wasn't he?
Mm-hmm.
I thought someone else. Maybe I was wrong. It's okay. There's probably someone else in my heart.
In your heart.
Aww.
Yeah, I wrote he's a dick, so I think there's only one person.
Okay.
Yeah, it was. I remember it was just him.
Your notes are my favorite thing. He's a dick.
Very fair.
Where, if you are to leave, are you going? Because now that we're aware Bennett is here,
Mhm. Well, I mean, the thing is, we already knew Bennett was here.
Well-
We can't just not go anywhere.
right?
So I was thinking personally going and maybe looking at, some of the different industries. I was specifically interested in mithril, like see if we can find some of the companies or organizations who are doing trading, maybe get a bit more recon so that way when we try and, wedge our way into the high society infiltration thing, we can get some, we have something to stand on so we're not just completely in the dark.
Very fair. We can do that.
Ruby kind of thinks for a second.
I forgot what
Okay.
you guys were doing, even though it was only, 10 minutes ago, but it feels
Yeah,
like 2
It
weeks.
wasn't 2 weeks.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Then we head out, right, Ruby?
We should
Wink,
tell
wink.
Jarvis first.
I think we should tell
Oh.
Jarvis first, since you guys were the ones with the actual encounter.
Okay. So we told you.
Yes.
Now.
Now you're gonna go tell Jarvis, but as your leader, I now have to take responsibility for that.
You don't have to take responsibility.
It's fine.
No, okay. No. This was a team effort. Not all on you. Just like if we did something good, you wouldn't be like, well, I'm the leader, so it's all on me. Because, you're not like that. So, something bad happened. It wasn't really anyone's fault. Just shitty luck to run into them so quickly. So we'll go in. And if they try and pin it all on you, I'll say something. I can have words. Okay.
No words. All right.
So what are
all
we
right.
what are we
are
opting to
going-
do?
Sounds like we're
Right.
going to go at least tell Jarvis what has happened to get some insight into what their thoughts would be.
Okay, so as far as you know, Jarvis is up in their room where you left them last.
I'm gonna finish my drink, like just kind of down it and then
Valid.
put it down and then go.
Okay.
Knock on the
And-
door.
You head on up and you knock on the door and you hear a voice. Hello. Who is it?
It's
Your
Ruby.
favorite team.
I'm gonna actually stay downstairs and
And-
keep an eye in case any suspicious looking folks barge in while y'all go up there.
I'm
In case we
also
get
gonna say I'm gonna stay with Brutus because strength in numbers,
Cool.
Buddy
All right.
system.
just in case.
Cool. So
Come
yeah,
on
it's-
in.
opens the door, pushes it open.
Hi.
Hello. How may I help you?
So we're very efficient
Mhm.
at Team
So
10,
efficient.
and we just wanted to update. And
I am a
think
fan
this is
of
fair.
efficiency.
Oh, you'll love this.
Yeah.
We have
now this is Terex's
located.
part. You do the rest, all of it.
We have located Bennett. Briefly, in a more real sense, though, I would say Bennett has located us. And
Oh, well, those are entirely two different things. But
Yeah.
you are certain that it was your target?
yeah, he
That
reckons.
is excellent news.
Right? So good news. He does know where we're staying, and he does seem a little bit hostile. I'm not quite sure why, but he knows we're here. But we just wanted to run that by you, let you know. So in case he tries to, like, I don't know, come and murder us in our sleep or something.
Did you do anything to provoke him?
I did literally nothing. Haven't even met the guy, so I don't know. He just had very angry vibes.
Huh. That does not make sense if he did not know who you were.
He knew Hiccup. Oh?
Yeah, he didn't know us, but he knew Hiccup and Brutus.
I think he recognized them from when we were in the End of Light.
Understood. Perhaps it is best to be safe and take precautions.
Right. Like, I mean, I know, we obviously know what precautions need to be taken, but if you had any suggestions, what would you think would be a good idea?
Well, there are several options in this instance. We could abandon the mission. We could locate a new place of lodging if we feel our current one is no longer safe. Or we could stay as is and hope for the best.
I think they'll get more suspicious if we move.
I think we stay, we just don't bunk in separate rooms.
I think,
We keep
yeah.
watch. We can't abandon the mission. We just started the mission.
Ruby's
That's a
absolutely
great
not
start.
going to abandon this mission. This is their second mission. It's not happening. The first ended in everyone dying. We can only go up from here.
Knock on wood.
Knock on wood. No, I agree that bunking together may be a better option. At least so we can rotate out and keep watch a little better.
All right. Will we opt to split or have all parties in one room? As you can see, my room is plenty fine to accommodate everyone.
Night. Yeah, we can do that.
Oh, Ruby.
Fine with everyone wants to be in one room, or if we want to split into one or two, however.
Yeah, I could play it by ear when we get to tonight.
Yeah.
Excellent. I will prepare for such an occasion.
Thank you, Jarvis.
If anything else happens, please keep me in mind.
Aye, aye, Captain.
All right. I guess we can go back downstairs and tell our lovely Hiccup and Brutus what the plan is. And if you want to go exploring more, I will come with you.
Yeah.
Yes, I'll come with.
Yay!
I'm very excited.
There's like,
Team
yes,
mom,
finally.
team mom.
Okay, so what is it we are opting to do? You said we're going to go back downstairs.
Yep.
Go downstairs.
Tell Brutus and Hiccup what Jarvis said, and that will be bunking in either Jarvis's room or splitting it between two rooms. However we want to do that.
Seems smart. Yeah.
And
Make sure
and
everyone's okay with that.
And then, okay, Brutus and Hiccup. Amazing news. Ruby's gonna come out with us.
I mean, that is good news. That said, what I was going to do wasn't terribly important. If we want to keep an eye on here, I'm happy to stay.
Oh, we don't need to keep an eye on here. We'll be fine.
I think Jarvis has plenty of. Plus, they don't know
Stay
Jarvis is
outside?
here.
That's
Plus, they don't
really
know
cutthroat.
We lost an arm to bandits.
But they also
They
don't know
lost an arm
he's
to
here.
bandits.
In all honesty, I almost think Jarvis would be safer if we're not here.
He was holding himself back, okay?
He was, though. He was.
Hey, chat, thank you so much. Just want to point out we are halfway to our goal. We got 41 viewers right now, 42.
Ooh, look
So,
at this.
Yeah,
Wow.
if we get 38 more, we all have to wear prom outfits in the next stream. All right. As you were.
Go.
I think Jarvis can handle himself. I think he He probably was holding himself back, and he's probably safer with us not here.
So do we
Fair.
all go out in one group, or are we going to split into 2 subgroups?
I think going out in one group, if we do split off into subgroups, at least keep each other in eyesight. Maybe that way the people they know and the people they don't are in 2 different groups. Now they know you guys, but yeah.
Yeah, that actually, I was about to recommend a similar thing of having Hiccup and I be off in another group with maybe just one other person.
Okay.
Just to at least keep your face an unknown, potentially.
Yeah, I'll cut a trail behind her and keep them in eyesight then. Well, I will plan to do. All right, come on. I know you all want to go. Gestures to the door.
Well, let's go now. Like, what's the next thing we'd run into?
Could be anything.
Dragon.
So the groups are as such. What groups are we breaking into?
Brutus and Hiccup, and then if one other person wanted to go with them, correct?
I'll go with them.
Brutus, Hiccup, Tear,
Yay.
Ruby, and Terex,
Go.
kind of trailing behind.
Yeah.
That's
Okay.
good also, because if anybody needs to sneak away, our sneaky disconnected.
Right.
You didn't see anything.
And Ruby and Terex
Mhm.
as a party. Okay. Brutus, Hiccup, and Tear. Where are you heading as you all step out of the step out of the oak and steel? What destination do you have in mind?
What was that thing you wanted to do, Brutus?
Brutus was gonna go to a blacksmith and just have her sword sort of touched up, sharpened, whatnot. That was really all she was planning on doing.
Can we get some bread squishes on the way so that way while we wait
Oh
for your
yeah.
weapons to be done? we can get
Hydrate
some
check.
Snacks.
Yeah, no, you're welcome to go get bread squishes. I will not be leaving my swords aside, but
No, that's why we can get our bread squishes first, and then we can go get your stuff sharpened. And while we wait, we can eat our stuff.
smart. Yes.
Wait, we're close to your murder weapons.
Where did Terex want to go? I know we're like kind of in separate groups, but I assume we're like
Yeah, we're staying far enough behind where like they might be a different group of people, but
Yeah.
keeping you guys in eyesight.
Yeah.
I think she'd said that she wanted to do also weapon like stuff, but mostly like fancier ones like mithril and stuff. I think in armor, maybe. So maybe once we get to like the blacksmith, we can like stop there and ask where to go and go from there.
sweet. Okie doke.
Okay. So Brutus, Tear, and Hiccup, where are you going first?
I want to get bread squishes and then to the blacksmith.
Yeah, go ahead and all of you roll just roll a straight up D20 for me, and I'll let this determine.
You do this for what?
I rolled a 10.
Okay,
That's a 5, baby.
5
God.
for Sarah, and Brutus.
Oh shoot.
Dang, Brutus. Dang.
Right? 12.
Okay, so yeah, you go and you get some bread squishes by hitting up another spot to grab some bread and
Some
cut it
squoosh.
open and grab a different type of meat to fill. Hiccup with a 10. You eat it and you know you've had bread, you've had meat, You put them together, and at least in this particular combination, it was just like, okay, I have skipped one of the chewing phases. I'm just chewing two of them at the same time in this instance, you know?
Yeah.
Like, it's not bad. It's not great. It's just, yes, and. Tear, you don't particularly like the meat that they have offered in this one. You know, part of you maybe wants to go back and try exactly what Brutus and Tear got the first time. What Brutus and Terex got the first time, but the kind that you got here, it didn't quite sit right with you. Enjoy it.
You all were very excited about this. Are you sure this is the right one, Brutus?
It's missing the gem. The fruit really brought it together.
They have like the same, like, whatchamacallit, cow chicken meat?
What are you talking about?
Street meat.
And Brutus with a 12. You're right. It's not as good as the last one, but like, no, this is like, you're definitely onto something here.
I've eaten hardtack for a while, you know,
Yeah.
like everything's great.
Like, this is not bad. Like, yeah, jam will make it better, but like, don't be posh about it.
This isn't food for the stars, baby.
Okay. And so after you've grabbed your food, where's your destination next?
Okay, I'm looking for a blacksmith, but I definitely don't want to go to the people who are doing the hard sell before. I'm looking for a place that is probably like, I want like a smaller place, some place that maybe looks like a little bit older, that doesn't feel the need to like look super like fancy. I feel like they're going to be able to do what I want.
Okay.
Like
and
a mom and pop shop, but like a blacksmith.
okay, give me an investigation check. This is kind of you checking the place and seeing how long it takes you to find just what you're looking for.
14.
Okay. So this is, you know, a fairly, it's the industrial city of the land. And so finding blacksmiths takes you no time at all. But you do skip over a couple because they just seem like, well, anyone can do that. You're selling stuff that maybe you're not even really making in-house. And, oh, I can tell that they're speeding through their work. It's not what you want. But you definitely find one. And you see a foggy flint. And something about this one catches your attention. It's definitely an older building, but still very well kept. And you can get the vibe from it that this is no one's hawking on the street out to you. I mean, it's evening at this point, but no one's really pushing, and you can just hear the clang of work that is just continually happening back behind its doors. And it seems like the place that's caught your attention is the Foggy Flint.
I head into the Foggy Flint.
I'm gonna peek inside, but I'm actually gonna wait outside and just people watch while she's doing business.
Okay. And yeah, you walk inside to the Foggy Flint, and you come inside the doors, and there is an array of items in here hanging up on the walls. You can see some swords and scabbards hanging up. Some are unsheathed so that the inspection of the blade and such can be done, but they are very well mounted to the wall, so you couldn't just pull them down. You can see a suit of armor that is up, and it's broken apart into several sections so that it allows you to it's not on the wall. It is separated and suspended so that you could walk around and sort of get a good look at all angles of it. And even like you could slip an arm into the arm section, but you couldn't remove it from its suspension. So it's just kind of sitting there hanging out it's a basic set of armor, but it's well displayed. Like they know the questions you're going to ask, and they've answered them already by allowing you to look.
Oh, love that. Minimum of like having to talk and ask questions.
Amazing.
Perfect.
And there is what seems like a fog, which you recognize as just the smoke from some of the remnants of smoke, really, from the work that's happening back, and the bellows are going, and they are working on the irons, and you can't quite see all of that, but you can hear it coming from back where the actual work is happening, and that bit of smoke kind of running across the top of the building and then seeping out through some vents, but it still gives this foggy appearance to the roof of the room. And you can see little sparks kind of every now and then as someone back there is hammering. And you get the idea that their name very well suits just the appearance, the foggy flint.
I love it. Brutus was just like, this smells like home. If there isn't anybody who's like immediately visible, I'll go and like sort of peek through like an opening into the work area, like make it clear that like I'm here, but I'm not in a big rush. No worries.
Tara, where did you go for this? Did you stay outside with Hiccup or did you come inside?
I would have came inside.
Okay. So yeah, when you poke your head in, you see a few folks moving about back there, and they are working. And as soon as you poke your head through, make a stealth check
Oh no no no! Oh no
for
no
Brutus.
Brutus? Okay,
Yep.
I'm not trying to be stealthy, but I will make one.
Yeah, this is basically. I could roll a perception check for them, but letting you do a stealth check kind of says how accidentally stealthy are you.
Great. Okay, because I rolled pretty high. Oh, but I'm at disadvantage.
Yeah, you have disadvantage because you got your armor on.
Well, never mind. I did not roll pretty high. I rolled a 4.
All right, so yeah, you push open the door, kind of creaks where you push, and someone is working, and they don't even look up, and they just say, "We'll be with you in a moment."
Perfect. Lovely.
And then you hear the voice immediately call out, "Flint, someone's up front. I got this." And someone says, "All right, I got it," and heads up your way. So we're going to pause you right there, and we're going to jump across to Terex and Ruby. Terex and Ruby, where are you heading?
Believe that we were falling behind them, but reasonable distance.
Okay.
I feel like if they've gone into the shop and we can see Hiccup outside, do we want to just go inside neighboring shop somewhere around here, just so they get down?
Looks around. You were looking for something too, right?
Yeah. Do I see anything that's like, I'm looking for, I assume all of the people who make weaponry, like these are like the lower level, or not lower level, but these are like at the artisan level, and the real money is probably in the people who supply them with metal, with tech, like that sort of thing. So if I can look for any shops that might be a little bit higher end, because I want to get some more information about the big names here of anything I don't know already. Because I don't know a ton about that side of the process of like the making of weapons, more just the raw materials and stuff.
Yeah. So give me an investigation check.
Investigation.
Can I help her look? So can I give her advantage?
If
I'm looking around.
Okay, so give me a quick conversation then,
Okay.
so I know why you would be helping.
Okay. Remind
I
me
guess-
what it was you were looking for?
Yeah, I'm trying to get more information about who really controls the money in this town. I assume those are going to be the sorts of people that we'll need to interface with tomorrow.
Okay. So like higher end then?
Higher end weaponry, and whoever's supplying the materials, whoever buys and sells those, the wholesalers, whoever's kind of has more clout in whatever guilds run this, and the people who are behind, if this whole place is driven on innovation. So we can find the names or information about any of the big name inventors. That would probably be useful.
No, I think it's a really good lead. Good call. And I'm gonna kind of look around.
Okay, so you may roll with advantage because your teammate is helping you actively search. So investigation check with advantage to find out something.
That would be an 18.
Okay. So with an 18, you look about the place. You've pinpointed that Hiccup is standing outside where Brutus and Tear went in, and they seem to be at a blacksmith. You can see the Foggy Flint sign, and you understand what they must be going inside of. And you don't want to get too close, so you look around. And while you do, you take in some of the places. You're searching for something a little more our house calling to you. And one catches your attention. It's about a block back, but you take a look and you catch it. There is a building that there seems to be no smoke coming from, no disturbances as if work is happening, and a very nice sign that says Oten's, OWTEN''S, Oten's. And there are several folks walking in and out with some bejeweled weaponry, and there's even someone walking out, a little girl, and has a very nice bit of jewelry. Hydrate. Yeah, you see a gnome girl walking out with a nice bracelet that seems to have come from this shop. But the thing that catches your attention most about that is it looks like a nice shop, but there is no work happening at it.
I think that's where we should start. And
Yeah.
I assume we start heading in that direction.
I agree.
And so you approach Oten's, and it is a nice looking place. It's got a great wood finish with some beautiful trim, and it has these beautiful bay windows. And even through those, you can see some excellent things on display in there. And the door, which is even with a window on the door, in front of you.
Just my cluster. Stand up a little straighter. Good. And open the door and walk inside.
And follow behind.
And you pull the door open, and you hear sort of a ding above you as an alarm seems to have triggered as the door opens, and it dings, and then a voice says, "Welcome to Oten's." And there is a half-elf on the other side of the room that has looked up and motioned to you while talking to someone in front of them.
While they're talking to someone in front of them, I will, seeing that I have been acknowledged, just politely just sort of walk elsewhere and kind of look at whatever they have on display so that someone that, worker can talk.
Mm-hmm. And so looking on display, they have some interesting items in here. They have very fine crafted, top-notch looking swords and some shields. They have some chainmail hanging and some really good catchy lines like carved into metal above them, like for the great adventurer and your next lifesaver underneath some of the swords, and just things like that all over the place.
I do have a question. Looking at the quality, does this look more like this is glitzy stuff for rich people who want to cosplay as adventurers rather than actual adventure equipment?
Roll an insight check.
So you mean, are we looking at LARP equipment?
Right. Or rich guys who just go on hunting trips to
Yeah.
feel something and put it in their house because they never learned how to accurately deal with their emotions. That's a 9.
You mean the guys who are leading the hunt, but actually everybody else is doing the work? Yeah.
Yeah, trophy hunters who go and kill
Yeah.
elephants. Those
Yeah.
fuckers.
So yeah,
Y'all killing elephants now?
you have the thought of I wonder if this is shitty stuff, and you like tap a blade and it cuts your finger just a little bit, and you go, oh shit, no, that's sharp. And so they definitely seem up to code, up to snuff.
Me, this sword is sharp. Yep, that's what you
This
want.
sword's sharp. Cool.
And it was just kind of one of those thoughts, and I think that's how you resolved it, is like you didn't trust it, you didn't proper safety protocol, because these don't seem like, what you'd expect, and you go, oh no, okay, so perhaps they've been glitzed up, yes, but their quality has not been diminished to do so. And the half elf finishes up chatting with this human woman, and she nods and she walks past in a very regal looking overcoat, and she walks away with a dagger and a small little box, and she nods at you as they pass your position and head out the door. And he turns and says, welcome to Oten's. How can I help you today? Fancying the blade there?
Yes, it's very sharp.
Ruby's like, cool.
We've got some of the best stuff. Now, is there a particular type you'd be interested in? I can assure you all of ours is sharp. And if it's not, we'll make it.
Love to hear that. I was actually just looking around. You see, me and my friend were just in town for a few days, and so just looking to get an idea of what sort of things are here. This is my first time in quite some time in this land, first time in the city, and you guys have the most interesting equipment. And of course, I'm always looking for presents. That my parents are always looking for ideas of what to get, and I just want to know what sort of things you have available.
Well, we have most anything you can imagine. We can either bring in, all of ours are brought in. We source from some of the finest, and we get some of ours commissioned if they need to be specialized. Here at Oten's, we can handle anything you need, from suits of armor to specialty weapons. We can get you taken care of.
And are any of these weapons enchanted?
We can put in specialty orders for that. I have an item or two available that do have some enchantments on them, but oftentimes people have a certain enchantment in mind, and we can usually work to accommodate.
Right. And I'm kind of looking like probably sort of checking the balance of a sword just casually as we're talking. And do you or your supplier do wholesale purchases? Like, for example, if you wanted to outfit guards for personal guards or a company or that sort of thing?
Absolutely. I mean, we don't do that here in the shop, but the Oten family can certainly get you handled. We actually are some of the suppliers to many a nation's guard.
Oh, fantastic to hear. And would you be a person that I would interface with that? Also, would you be a person that I would interface for that purpose?
Well, I can facilitate some of that, but we like to let some of our other family members handle the more large-scale investments.
Was. And I would like to let you know, though I am not here on business, I'd be very interested to know where your family gets their supplies, raw materials for your weaponry, for your enchantments. I think there's a potential for some business in the future.
Well, some of them are a bit of a company secret, but I do promise ours hold up to the test, and we at Oten's promise nothing but results.
Hear it. Oh.
And I roll insight while she's having this conversation. I want to focus more on how he's wording things and if he's being completely honest and upfront.
Yeah, go right ahead.
Okay. just while they're having this conversation, while Ruby is sitting there listening. Let's see, what is my insight? I think it's pretty decent. Let's see. That's a 14.
Yeah, this dude is pretty. You're getting the sense that he's very confident in what he's saying. Like this, he's not necessarily making a sales pitch. He is standing up for his merchandise, or at least his family's name. And it's just like, that's what we do.
Is there, looking around at the items, I assume I would have an approximate idea of how much things cost. I don't want to have to ask because, but I would like to buy something like a dagger or something jewel encrusted, like a small knife or something. How much do I think that would cost to get one of those like beautifully carved daggers?
Yeah. So something like, if you're looking around the room, I guess that's another investigation check.
Yeah. Shit. That's a 6.
So you can't quite tell. You look around and it doesn't feel like things should be out of your price range, but you can't tell because you never know when it comes to a place like this. If these have been bejeweled to make rich people feel better about them, they might have a rich people price tag on them. But you yourself are unsure. You know what you think they should be worth, but you do not know what they are actually worth.
I'm looking for something rather specific. A dagger with the black sheath, maybe something with scroll work, maybe a little bit jewel encrusted on the hilt of the dagger, something along those lines. You can kind of see the sort of aesthetic that I prefer.
Absolutely. I was noting it and could think of a few pieces that might fit. Unfortunately, most of them are not here, but I do believe one or two pieces I might have. If you'll excuse me both for just a moment.
Sure thing.
Well, of course.
And he just strides very casually back, but with like poise and purpose, back behind the counter and to the room behind. He opens it up and steps inside. And while this is a fairly decent sized place, you can tell that there's not a lot of backstock back there that they keep on hand. He's still very visible to you in his back room. And he steps aside to grab something just out of view. And then he comes back and he says, we have 2 of these and they are a little bit on the smaller side, but they fit well either as adornments or still. And he pulls it out, and with a nice twirl through his fingers, you can tell that this guy knows how to hold a weapon. And he twirls them around his fingers, very well balanced, very, very sharp. So they still get the job done, and slides it back in and presents in front of you a small, about 7-inch curved dagger with beautiful black accents on the scabbard and some inscriptions running along it.
I'm going to hold it and kind of whirl it through the air as you do. Yes.
Make a dexterity check.
Dice don't fail me now.
Stab yourself.
Dexterity.
Did you just tell them to stab themselves?
Is 14.
Yes. All right, yeah, you give it a little flourish, and that's you getting used, and it feels good.
Right. Well, this is for. And could I get your name, by the way?
Yes. I am Harsnet Oten,
Net.
but you can call me Hars.
Hars. Well, it is lovely to make your acquaintance, Hops. My name is Tarek's niece. I hold out my hand, but not like a handshake, but like a, enchanté kind of vibe.
Yeah. And he takes it and gives a bit of a nod, a little bow, and it's a pleasure. So, shall I get those boxed up for you, or would you like to look at something else?
Getting this boxed up, and if there's the potential in the future to perhaps meet more of your family and just perhaps work out some future connections, I'd be absolutely ecstatic.
Excellent. Yes, right this way. And we'll jump back now to Hiccup, Brutus, and Tear. Hiccup, you are outside of the shop right now. Hiccup, I want you to make a perception check.
Perception? Okay, one moment. +2 to it. Let's see. 6.
So
He's
yeah,
people watching. He's just
Yeah.
vibing.
Hiccup, it's vibing, people watching, enjoying, what's going on.
Yeah, taking in the scenery. He's never been to places like this, so
Y-
you just
you tell me, is Hiccup on high alert looking out, or is Hiccup trying to like take in the people? What is Hiccup doing? Because that'll determine how this goes.
I think he's more taking in the people, realistically. He could be on high alert, but he's not.
Okay. So yeah, as Hiccup is just looking about, just kind of taking in the people, there's so much going on. Even though it's not super busy, it is still active. All the noise from people, it seems like the city is constantly at work. There's constantly people working on things. You can see little flashes of like light and little spells up in the air on rooftops. You can see the smoke. And so as far as taking in anything informational, there's not a whole lot because there's so much. And so Hiccup's just kind of there observing this active yet maybe in the moment dull city.
He finds it fascinating. This is very new for him.
It's like an iron jungle to Hiccup.
Yeah.
Yeah. And inside, Brutus and Tear, Flint has just walked out. And Flint, the dwarf, reaches up and says, pleasure, Flint, needed some work done? Are you here for a pickup?
Rathia, yeah, here, not for pickup. Need just some basic upkeep done on this. Worked with iron before. And she will pull out and put this very, very heavy iron 4 generations old claymore onto the table.
God damn.
And he looks it over and goes,
Yeah.
there's a piece of work. Wow.
Yeah, Brutus is like, it's like he's complimenting her. She's like, I know, it's very good.
And he lifts it up and says, oh, decent weight there. Not quite perfectly balanced for a dwarf, but it's not for me now, is it?
And I don't want it perfectly balanced, adds a little bit of momentum.
So this thing has definitely seen some fights and it was built for it too. And he hefts it back and forth from side to side, runs his hands along the entirety of it and checks all the little imperfections along it. And he says, yeah, we can get some of that hammered out there and sharpen this up. Is there anything else you're wanting us to do to it? It shouldn't take long, but...
No, just upkeep. It's always good to have it checked in. Get stronger, more it's worked, you know.
Absolutely.
Do you mind if I when our no rush except for, marginal. Guess I sort of need it tomorrow, actually, so small bit of rush.
Well. Yeah, typically a sharpening job like this, couple of silvers. Tell you what, make it 10 silver and I'll do it as soon as I'm done with my next job. Shouldn't take more but an hour.
Oh, perfect, thanks. Much appreciated. Do you mind if I watch it, just sort of like I like forges? It's okay.
No, yeah. And he leans over, and the door that he came through, there's actually a little hallway to the left of it before that door. And he motions down to it and says, folks like to do that sort of thing. We've got a spot right through here. You can come through and you can see, but do try to not disturb the other folks while they're working.
Of course. Thank you.
We have a friend outside. I'm just gonna go tell him that we're gonna be a minute, and then I'm gonna I'm gonna watch too. I want to see how these weapons are made.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. There's room for about 4 in there, so.
Okay. I'll jump back outside and like go to Hiccup and say, Hiccup, Hiccup, Hiccup.
Hmm?
They're
What?
like
What?
fixing the weapon and they're gonna do it right now. This is gonna be great. I've never seen weapons made.
I mean,
See, I just
Oh,
wanted to let
okay.
you know that it's gonna be a while, so you don't be waiting for too long and think that we're dead inside.
all right. I am gonna sit on the roof if I can get away with it.
You're going to try and climb the wall and sit on the roof?
Mm-hmm. I want to get a better view of my surroundings. Like a lizard sunbathing on
Okay.
a
How do you get up? How do you get up there? What are you trying to do? What are you trying to use to get on the roof?
Oh gosh, casting levitate on myself would be so stupid, but I am so tempted. I'm not gonna do that. He's gonna just try scaling it the old-fashioned way.
Okay, so make an athletics check.
Okay. Let me see. I believe I have proficiency. Let me just double check. I do. So +3.
Oh, we lost a person.
Oh no.
Hold on just a second,
Who
guys.
am I
We can
the-
get cams.
Am I the DM again?
Oh, there's Moose. Hi, Moose. We lost you for a second.
My bad.
So my total is 8. I'm doing very well.
Okay.
He's not used to this kind of
So-
architecture.
Yeah, it's not really meant for claws to dig into. Like it is, a nice wooden spot, but as you dig into it, your claws kind of like tear off a piece of the wood.
Oh shit. He's gonna just gently put it back. And I wish I had the mending spell, but I don't. I'm just gonna gently place it and just kind of just look to Tear and say, nobody saw that.
Roll a stealth check.
Okay.
It sure
Okay.
didn't.
14 plus 3. 14 plus 3 is 17.
All right, no one seems to make a commotion about it.
Oh,
So
good. Yep. He's like, I'm just going to sit over here. And he's just going to like sit on the ground with his back to the wall, just continuing to people watch. He's starting to look more like a bum, but that's okay. He's just like, tell me how it goes. I've fiddled around with making things to use as weapons with what's around me, but just let me know how you like it.
Okay, I will. I'll jump back inside to like the room they told me that they're gonna be at.
Yeah, he's
Okay.
gonna continue people watching.
And yeah, some time goes by, about half hour or so, while the dwarf works on another piece he was working on. It was a shield that had a dent in it, and he was working to get it out. But then he was also repairing some of the damage to what looked like a metal emblem that was on it, and he was fixing part. So it definitely looked like someone brought this in from some sort of scuffle or something, and he repaired it. And you almost, if you hadn't seen him working on it, wouldn't have known that much had happened to it when it was done. And so you see the work of a good craftsman here.
Good.
And he puts that shield up, and he grabs the claymore and brings it on over and nods in your direction. And he takes a look at it again and kind of eyes it, makes a few decisions on how he wants to work with it, it seems. And after a bit, he stands there and just looks at it, grabs some water, drinks it, and then claps his hands together and rubs. And then after kind of hyping himself up, gets into work and seems to be just into a rhythm. And you can see that the other workers are all in their own sort of rhythms, and no one is disturbing one another unless like otherwise noted. An occasional person walks in and someone else gets called to go up front, and he is just working away on your claymore. And we'll jump back over real quick to Terex and Ruby. Now, there we go. And we've got it in a lovely box here that you can place it if you'd like to gift them to anyone or obviously for yourself. Here they are. Now, that'll be 20 gold.
The thing. Pay for that.
Great. And pleasure doing business. Now, if you would like to talk about those other matters, like I said, that's something that we can get arranged. You would simply just have to speak to probably my brother for that one, and we can have that arranged if we have you go to Oaten Manor, or I can have someone send a letter to your city of residence, wherever you would like. We sort of have options for just about anything. You can come to us, or we can come to you.
Perhaps, speaking with you directly, since I'm here now, I assume Oaten Manor is in the city, or at least near it.
Yes.
Yes, and I'm far away. I live far away, so I think it would be the most convenient.
Now, in regards to your requests, I can take down all of this information and sort of mark an appointment for you in order to discuss that sort of thing. What types of things are you looking for?
Well, right now, first, I'm not going to pry into your industry secrets, but I would love to know who currently is supplying your meat. Perhaps we can work out a solution that might be beneficial for most parties if there's anything about that is less than satisfactory, or perhaps that it is satisfactory but could be improved upon, as well as just looking for equipment, different mining equipment, just trying to get a general idea, a general quote. We're looking to upgrade some of our current tools and current methods, see if there's any potential in the future for innovation.
Absolutely. While we do bring in a lot of the work that gets done, our mithril is actually self-mined. The Oaten family mines are notorious for this sort of thing. We are quite well versed in that. So if you don't like the mithril, you don't like us.
That's fair.
We actually have several mines that we manage most of ours. We do bring in a lot of additional work and a lot of the gems and such that are inlaid, but the actual ironworks that make up the weapons and the carium that we allow to be imbued with spells to hold inside the weaponry, that is handled by the Oaten family.
Well, in that case, perhaps there is a potential for a future partnership. I assume your mines are here in the Land of Forge.
In various locations.
In various locations. Don't have. I won't pry. Though perhaps I could help connect you. There's a venture maybe for proprietorship for some mines that are elsewhere on the continent. That perhaps there's a mutually beneficial arrangement to be made here.
And I see no reason that can't be the case. And he reaches over and grabs a simple scroll and writes his name across it, and writes Harsnet Oaten, and then signs beneath it. And he hands it to you and says, pass this along to the Oaten Manor, or come back any time that you would like to discuss said partnership when you're ready, and we can get that handled.
Perfect. Well, this was a lovely day. Thank you so much for the conversation and for this beautiful piece of, well, it's a weapon, but in another way it looks like art. I hope we'll see each other again.
Why, thank you. I hope the same. And is there anything we can get for you, miss?
No, I think I'm good at the moment. Thank you very much. I've appreciated looking at your beautiful pieces of, dare I say, artwork.
We do like to invest in such, yes. Thank you. Well, it's been a pleasure, and thank you for coming to Oaten's.
Thank you.
All right, and where are you heading as you leave this place?
We're heading back out to lounge near where the other group is.
I agree. That was my plan. Seeing Hiccup just kind of leaning against a wall, looking a little homeless, just okay. People watching.
Natural habitat, baby.
Being hobos is our natural habitat.
Yeah. And so as you
It's Hiccup's habitat.
so you approach Hiccup.
No, I think we'll just stand nearby.
Okay.
Kind of talking. You sure you
Yeah.
don't lunch anything? I could go back and grab something for you.
No, but that is very reasonable. It's a good piece.
Yeah. Like shopping.
I noticed that a little bit. You did prick your finger on one object.
Had to
Are you
stay really
okay?
sharp.
I mean, are you okay? Like,
Oh, I'm not gonna do the thing that I want to say. I'm gonna do the reasonable thing, which is we're gonna be less horny on me.
Aw.
bonk.
No, so I'm pretty used to sort of
Well,
some
yes,
grapes.
I'm still.
Huh?
No, it's a good piece though. I very much like it. Very much fits your aesthetic.
Thank you.
A good choice.
And now we have an inn with and family. Seems to be pretty fancy, although God, I should probably we'll figure it out later. All stuff about like Mithril. I'm kind of making business
Making that-
agreements that
Making
I
those
don't
business
technically
agreements.
have the authority to make.
No,
I don't not
really,
have the
you played that
authority.
off very well though. Like we don't not have the authority,
Right.
but we also weren't given permit. You know what? You played it off very well. I was very impressed.
I'm sure it'll turn out fine. I just won't sign anything, and I should probably write a letter. Probably, I'm just going to write a letter we can send off later.
Sure.
I just
You know
need
what?
to
That
tell
sounds good to
people
me.
things.
Yeah, that sounds good.
And we'll jump over to Brutus and Tarad's side right now. And he finishes up your Claymore work a little sooner than expected. You saw once he got into a rhythm, he was just in a flow state. And it, to the untrained eye, it was just monotonous. But you, having worked on it yourself and having seen others work on it, you watched as every motion was almost identical. There was no wasted movement. The clang, 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 clang. It was rhythmic and pristine. And when done, there were a few moments there and there as he sharpened in places and cleaned it, polished it, and then held it up, weighed it again, checking that balance had not been thrown off as requested, and then looks over in your direction and nods and motions towards the front of the store again.
Perfect. Go ahead and like stand up, go over there. Be the
That
man.
was so cool. That was so cool.
Brutus sort of smiles and she goes, iron swords are, they're a little out of favor. Steel is more flexible, less prone to breakage, but iron, the more you work it, the better it gets. So the older the sword, better. And has more weight. I mean, it's pretty neat. Anyway.
And it looks like it needs someone pretty skilled to use it. So it's in good hands with you.
Oh, well, suppose, yeah. Thanks.
Okay.
And he
I'm good
sets
at
it.
murder.
He sets it down on the counter and says, "It's a magnificent piece of work here."
Oh, well, yeah. Yeah, and she picks it up and, like, conscious of the room in the shop, she just does, like, a really simple, like, reverse grip, sort of swing back around, parry, be like, okay, yeah, everything still feels really good. And we'll pay him plus, like, an extra, what was it? It was 10 so a gold?
Yeah, 1 gold.
I'll give him 10 silver and then a tip of 5 silver.
Okay, so 1 gold, 5 silver, yeah?
Yep.
And, thank you. Thank you kindly.
Of course.
If you ever need anything else, come on back.
If I'm back in town, I shall. Thank you.
And he heads on back in.
Brutus will turn to Tara and be like, right, let's see where the others are at then.
Yeah. Okay, so you said the more you use this weapon, the better it gets, right? So, like, it doesn't break ever?
It gets harder to. Iron is more brittle, but yeah, you'd have to work pretty hard.
That's why they say you have nerves of iron. Okay, I like it.
Brutus is like, everyone needs to stop saying nice things. She doesn't say that, but she says it with her face. It's all eyes.
And your party members, you can see Hiccup is still outside.
Hiccup.
What?
Okay.
Hi.
Okay. So you know how trees get bigger with time and they get nicer.
Uh-huh.
Okay. So I found out that iron swords are the same way. They get better.
Bigger.
Well, they get better with time.
I didn't know swords can do that. I didn't know they can get bigger.
I mean, I don't know if they get bigger. I think we can make them bigger. I have a spell that can make them bigger, but I think generally, they just get better.
Uh-huh.
Yes. It was very nice. It was very cool to see.
Yeah.
It was like,
One is
I
a
have a
bringer
story.
of life, and the other is a bringer of death. It balances out.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
I guess trees can also kill you if they fall on you.
I mean, don't get me started on tree ants, but
Yeah. But yes. Maybe we can, I guess we're done with the day. Is there anything else that we wanted to do?
I've just been people watching. It's really cool. This place is like a jungle of its own.
Yeah. It is. Do you think this is also like swords, that this place gets, I guess, stronger and prettier as it like grows?
I
I
mean,
want to see it.
I could
does.
probably think of a few things that do that. And he finally stands back up.
I like that.
Yeah. People,
Oh,
I think, can do that too.
hey, Brutus
I
and Hiccup.
yeah.
Do we think we want to watch the sunset today? I think it'd be pretty if like all of us went and just found a nice spot and see what it looks like sun setting over this pretty town.
We're underground though, aren't we?
No, you were
Oh, okay.
underground when you arrived.
Got it.
I was like, whoa, are we? I was picturing this all wrong.
Underground
I was also picturing this all wrong.
Underground sun, punk. You ain't never heard of it? Dang.
Brutus is just like, she like is like, I would never have thought of that, and yes, absolutely.
Okay.
Watching
And you can-
sunsets is one of our favorite things.
You can see your two teammates at a distance, as sort of was the protocol that they've kept a distance.
I'll give them a wave like we're heading back towards, and like a hand gesture like we're heading back towards the inn.
You get a nod.
Cool. It then evolves into just like nonsensical hand gestures because it's going like, we found good. How was your thing? And it just is. She doesn't know thieves can't, so it's incomprehensible.
Yeah.
And you
Does that mean
understand?
anything? No.
Cool. I'm just gonna give a thumbs up.
Yeah. No.
I'll do that also.
So much. Yeah. Also, as we're walking, I'm just gonna also gonna like just move my hand a little bit as if I'm crinkling a leaf and point towards Hiccup, and I'm gonna use Druidcraft to make the sound of crushing leaves underneath your feet, just to kind of like make the noise of home. Here, this is like our jungle now, our forest.
My heart.
And,
That puts a warm smile on his face.
and you make your way back to the oak and steel. And the sunset on your walk is well, it's not a thing you can watch today because the sun's already down. So you'll have to enjoy
damn.
the sunset on a different day.
Sunrise.
Yeah, the sunrise.
Please.
Ooh, sunrises are another one of our favorite things to watch.
Yeah. And do you all get some rest?
Yeah.
Yes.
Probably
So
set
after-
up shifts for
Yeah.
watch.
Mhm.
And you all take your shifts and roll a who's first?
I'll go first.
You can go first. I'll go last.
Whoa.
I'll take the 2 shifts because I only need 4 hours of sleep, so I'll take the end.
Anyone
will-
with dark vision should take the like dead of night shifts and then like put like Brutus could take one closer to dawn when it gets a little bit lighter.
I have so much dark vision.
I have no
so much dark vision.
I have
Funny.
no such thing.
Okay, so we'll put Hiccup on first watch then. Or well, no, I'll let you guys decide what order they are. Just
I'll take 2nd and 3rd watch since those are going to be the darkest parts.
okay.
And Brutus will take the one closer to dawn, and Hiccup will take first.
Okay, so Hiccup, make a perception check for me.
Uh-oh. Okay. Forgot what my number is.
I say that like Terex is good at perception, but damn, is she good at seeing in the dark?
That is a 12.
And the rest of your party is sleeping in the room. And Jarvis, on occasion, just kind of shifts. And you're not quite sure if Jarvis is sleeping or not. Doesn't quite seem like Jarvis needs to, per se. And besides that, you don't hear anything out of the ordinary, and nothing happens during your shift. Just, again, people watching.
Cool.
And you get Terex up for their shift, for second
Yeah.
and third. And Terex, make a perception check.
Oh, that was so shitty. That's a 6.
So something's on your mind. Like you don't see anything or hear anything. What are you thinking about? What's distracting your thoughts?
Probably honestly thinking a little bit about the conversation that they had earlier today. Still thinking about the weird dreams that they've gotten as they're sleeping. And honestly, they probably take part of their shift to draft a letter to their parents. It's been a while since I've given them an update to be like, hey, by the way, I'm just talking business with people. So like, just like a little heads up of like, hey, you know, I'm just letting you know that I'm not going to make any deals or things, but I'm trying to set up connections, networking, that sort of thing that she'll probably like mail the next day.
Yeah, and
Probably
so
addressed to her mom because, you know, matriarch, so mom
Yeah.
in charge of that shit.
So yeah, things are on your mind, and you don't notice anything, but you definitely realize that you weren't quite paying as much attention because you got caught up in your thoughts. But your watch is over.
Oh, no one died, so probably fine. Go back to meditating.
And
I
wake up Brutus.
Yeah.
Brutus, make your roll.
Okey
Your
doke.
perception check.
Perception. Add anything to that? Probably not. I do not. 12.
12. Yeah. The sun is starting to rise, and it is a nice sunrise. You get to see that begin, and the city seems to be at work at all times, but you definitely see an influx of people heading off to work and things getting up and moving as it's starting to come alive. But
Push-ups.
yeah, you get to work out, get all that stretching and exercise in before everyone else gets up, and that's what happens.
Cool.
And there's a knock at the door.
I'm gonna go get my sword, and I'll just give like Ruby a quick tap. I assume everything's gonna be fine, but just so that way she hears like the knocking.
She's a light sleeper, so she'll kind of stir a little bit, open her eyes, prop herself up.
And then I'll go to the door and just ask, "Who's there?"
It's Luna.
Oh. I'll crack the door open, peek through.
Hey, morning, y'all. We've got a bit of a problem. And a foot presses against Tear's chest and kicks back. Tear
What?
begins to fall and smashes onto the ground. Tear, running in your direction, you see a two-headed beast, and it is charging you. Does a 6 break your AC?
No, it does not.
And it dives at you, and its jaws snap at you, and then the second head on it snaps in your direction. Does a 11 break your AC?
No, it does not.
And you're able to fend off this thing with one arm as it pounces on you as you fell to the ground.
Off! And I jump off, and seeing there is a beast, I'm also going to show it that it's not the only one that can do that. And
we'll pause it there.
Oh.
As in real time, Luna has just knocked on your door and told you we have a bit of a problem.
Is it the problem that one of our people is fighting a monster? No. Brutus is like, yeah, come in. What's going on?
And she steps in and she shuts the door and says, well, seems they like to do things a little differently around here. Timetable's been moved up a bit. So, how do y'all feel about a fight club for lunch?
I mean,
well,
What? Yep. Yeah, I'm down. I can do it. Put me in, coach.
I did some searching, and I kept my ears to the grindstone, my nose to the grindstone, too. Kept it all to the grindstone, really. A girl's got to do what a girl's got to do. And it seems they have bumped things up a bit. Unfortunately, what should have been a evening event, time zones and all that, not really something they care about. They move it up, and if you were meant to be there, you're meant to be there. So from here, we'll have to depart in about 2 hours.
Do we know why they did that for today, though? Was it just because they felt like it, or did somebody whisper in their ear?
I hear these sort of things get shifted around. It keeps it harder for anyone to actually pinpoint unless they're really, really trying to be there. It's harder to break up something like that travels or changes times.
Have you checked back in since yesterday?
Sorry, don't let me lose Luna here. It's harder to keep track of things that way. Now, checked back in. What do you mean?
One of our targets recognized us outside. Bennett?
The big one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I get a feeling from him.
Right.
And she looks at you and just kind of nods.
That was my worry, that he might have whispered, like they might be wanting something to do with this fight club, or that's one of their reasons for being here, and they said, there's people here, so we might as well get out of Dodge as fast as we can, so bump it up.
Well, from what I understand, I don't know that they have much control over this. I think they're just attendees in it, but if they are in fact involved in it, I guarantee they got the memo on its timetable shift.
Okay.
Right, yeah. Right. Feel great about that. Excuse me for a moment. Is there like a washroom somewhere?
Yeah, there'd be a washroom on this level.
Great, yeah. Just gonna go vomit and come back real quick.
Yeah, okay.
like you do.
Like you do.
Ruby's gonna stand up, like she stood when she would have entered, and remind me as a player who had decided to sign up. Was it
It was Hiccup and Brutus.
Hiccup
And
to
Tear.
fight.
Was it all three?
All three.
Yeah.
Okay, I just wanted to make
And
sure. Thank you.
Brutus only did so because she's kind of afraid to let Hiccup and Tear go down there alone, our woods babies.
Okay,
Yeah.
thank you. I
We're
just wanted to make sure.
survivalists.
God.
We
We
can
fucking
I,
handle
as a
it.
player, know that you will be fine, and Brutus has seen you do like some pretty impressive things, but it's just
But I
that thing of
also
like
turned into a plant in
mm,
the first episode.
you also turned into a
You
plant.
can't
once.
come back from that.
I don't think I will be ever taken seriously by the party after the
never
first
live it down.
episode.
No, it's
like
not.
a
It's not
typo
a
in a
matter of
group
taking
chat.
it seriously. It's just a matter of like
They could turn
both-
into that again.
you both
Yeah.
deeply invoke Brutus's need to protect people.
Gotta do
That's all
it.
it
So
is.
if we're gonna have to handle this sort of thing, I need y'all in tip-top shape. I do have y'all down on the docket in order to be my card to play, and you two are a bit of my entourage as we come in. But we'll have to get a move on. It's best not to be late to this sort of thing. Give us time to get our bearings.
Yes.
We'll get ready to go.
All right. And so you all gear up. Terry, you're
Mhm.
trying to say something?
Yeah, I was gonna say I'd like to like just take a moment to go to one of the rooms that's not currently occupied and like close the blinds and cast a light spell on my little orb, which is my star map, as I stare at the stars and kind of refocus and recenter myself before we go ahead. And that's like the only prep that I'll do beforehand.
Okay.
How
Cool.
not late do we need to be? Tarek says to the group
We need to be on time.
in time. So that's like
Which is late. So actually, we have to be early.
Yeah.
no, if it's on time, it's on time. That's the whole point.
Well, you
but
have
it's
to be a
not
little.
late.
Well, you have to be a little early to get these three checked in.
Okay.
I know you hate mornings. It's
I
fine.
hate mornings.
I
So it's
know.
just there.
So we get Tarek some coffee.
We get Derek some coffee.
Yeah.
Ruby also likes some coffee, and Fish is getting ready, and then we'll go get coffee. Bring
Yeah.
some back.
Brutus does that thing where like you have your cup of coffee and you keep on almost taking a sip, but you don't actually do it. You're like, no, not yet. And then you just do that until it gets cold, and then you set it down, and then you never actually drink any of it.
That's a mood.
Is it?
Yes.
Yeah. That's me with tea.
I don't have the struggle with coffee. I don't know what that's like. Yeah, I'll bring up some coffee, hand one to Tarek's, drink one myself. Make sure everything else is geared up and ready to go.
Hiccup gets a little more sleep, and then he's good to go.
And Luna finishing the preparations on her weaponry and such, stores it away. She's dressed, looking rather professional. Like you've seen her in several outfits at this point, and this looks like definitely gear she could walk around in just broad daylight in. But her little overcoat, her petticoat there is like covering several hidden weapons, and her boots like have a dagger like slid down inside one of them, and so like she herself is looking very regal in this, and she sort of adopts a more posh like appearance and stance. Well, are we good going?
Can I add something to description wise? Because
Yeah.
Terex also owns some very fine clothes and
Okay.
would dress up, and she has specifically this dress where like the armor goes on. It's like the front is like a thick leather, so it looks nice, but it also is protective, and the armor goes under the skirt, which is kind of large. And there's 2 pockets in this skirt that are false pockets because she has her 2 swords strapped to her thighs, so she can reach her hand in her pockets and pull them out. So she has that as well as her dagger, but she's also going to present as nice.
Ruby's gonna
person.
play it
Yeah.
up like
Excellent.
she's their guard. Is the whole aesthetic that Ruby is going to go for in this? Of
Hiccup
I
is
am here
gonna
as their guard.
Hiccup's gonna look at Terex and just go, "Can you Okay, I know being pretty is not a thing that I usually go for, but time permitting, could you teach me at some point? Because I want to understand it better.
Hiccup.
Like,
Are you asking me
yes.
to give you a makeover?
Yes.
Oh my, yes, absolutely, 100%. Yes. Okay, this is going to be so exciting. I've been thinking about it a lot. Okay, yes.
And Luna
Okay,
cocks her gun
cool,
and
cool.
says, "Good. We'll get to that if we get through today."
Yeah, assuming no one dies.
Agreed.
And Luna walks out.
Luna makes a fair point, but I don't know, I just wonder sometimes why people do it.
You have to
Cute.
feel like super powerful, but I do it.
It's the confidence. I'll hold the door open for Eric's.
Brutus's
Fucking
aesthetic is garbage.
That is a lie. Brutus's aesthetic is not garbage. Hiccup's the one that
Today
looks
it
like a
is.
raccoon.
Bags under the eyes.
Ruby's gonna kind of gesture. Come on.
Yeah, I'm going along, yeah.
And Jarvis says, "I will see you when you get back. If you require anything, remember to just send a message."
Thank you, Jarvis. I'll walk out after everyone else and close the door behind me.
Right. As we're going, I'm gonna Brutus is gonna sort of put a hand on both Hiccup and Tear's back and just be like, okay, don't know how these fights go down, but just a reminder, should either of you find yourself against me, just throw one of your mini spells. I don't have those. The small ones.
And
One of those. Those.
Yeah.
One of those at me,
Protein.
and I will just go down. I'm good
Are
at
you-
pretending.
Okay, I don't know if you'll want any of my cantrips, but I'll do my best.
I'll be fine.
Okay. Hey,
Yeah,
you got it, Protein.
I'm not hitting either of you with a sword, so just, let's just cut that off at the source.
I mean,
Yeah, I know you were very capable at killing me, and I don't want us to try killing each other.
Everybody roll a perception check.
Oh, joy.
you did this for what?
You do this
you
for
did
what?
that
Natural
for what?
20.
Oh,
That's a 22.
Thank God.
Oh, Curtis. Nice.
18.
Vivian.
4.
Why do I have a +7? What the fuck is the use of a +7 if I keep rolling 4s?
My total is a 4. I think Hiccup is distracted by Terex's beauty.
Tarek,
reasonable.
Ruby, and Brutus note that Luna is already up the street. She waits for no one, and in her presence, she is definitely on a timetable.
Okay.
Cool.
Pick up
Also,
the pace.
I know we're yeah, never mind. Never
Mind
mind.
strides
We're going.
with my little legs.
Itty bitty legs.
And Luna rounds the corner.
I've picked up the pace to
I picked up the pace where it's power walking.
Mm-hmm. Mall walking.
Making my way downtown.
And as you round the corner, you can see Luna. She's still not slowing down her pace. She keeps. It's not quite a run. It is a power walk, but you wouldn't know it if you were just looking at her appearance. She is just walking with purpose, but there is no wasted movement. She is just sort of flowing, and it is kind of hurriedly taking her. She's definitely getting to her destination post haste. And as you follow, you see her finally reach a rather large building. And there are no real windows on this building on the first floor. All of the windows are up a level. And she stands at the door and seems to look back and wait.
Remind me to figure out how she walks like that.
And as you all gather up, she says, all right now. All right now. We all set?
It's Mom.
Ruby readies herself to play the part of a guard. So, ready.
Well, here we go.
You know,
And she steps forward and pushes the doors open. And as she pushes them open, you see in front of you all sorts of folks moving about what appears to be a casino. There are people rolling dice on a table, and they are tracking a ball sliding down several little steps, trying to see what number it lands in when it reaches the bottom. There are others over sitting at a table playing 3 Dragon Ante. There are people making bets and wagers on 2 folks that are doing different types of activities where they're practicing with swords, but they're not fighting, but it looks like fencing practice. There's some odd sort of dance combination of thing going on, but people are somehow betting on it, and there's all sorts of interesting things going on. But you recognize this as a casino. And Luna walks in and walks directly past all of these folks and heads towards the back of this building. And there's a staircase there. And she takes it up to a second floor where there's even more. There are people arm wrestling in here, and people are physically working on things, and they're testing the speed at which someone can get something done. And people are wagering they can do it faster than the other, but then people are betting on who actually completes it the fastest. And it's just anything they can get their hands on. They're turning into a bet in this place. But it's a casino, and they're just at it. But again, Luna is walking past all of these folks. And ultimately, go ahead.
Oh no, just screw this place. So much numbers. Like, let's
Ruby?
leave.
Ruby,
Hello, Luna.
don't let me at any of these tables.
I'm gonna make note of that. Ruby's like, got it.
And
I'm gonna purposely walk behind Terex and Luna to make it look more like I'm a guard of the. I'm supposed to be watching over these 2.
Yeah.
And Luna makes her way to someone at the back who is sort of standing in front of a door. And he's just kind of leaning against it. And Luna approaches. Luna Featherbox, dear. Might my entourage and I come through? We've got ourselves a bit of business to attend to on the other side. And he looks Luna up and down and then tips over to glance at the group of you. Stands up straight and opens the door. And inside, Luna steps in. And there's a small room. Do the rest of you walk in?
Yes.
It's a small room about the size of the lift back in your apartment that takes you up to your floor. There's room only for a few at a time, it seems. And he shuts the door behind you. And Luna then turns around and she pulls out a slip of paper and reads it over again and says, all right. And she grabs the door handle and removes it, and it pulls off on this end. And there is a spot to place the door handle on the left side of the door. She moves it and places it there, and white runes appear around the doorknob as it's been placed on the opposite side. Looks back at you and says, on your best behavior. And turns the handle and reopens the same door you just came through. And now steps into the upper level looking down on an arena as someone hacks at another person down in an arena. You watch as someone gets cut down and a crowd is cheering and people are throwing things because they've just lost their bets. And you can see several folks up in hoods all around the perimeter, keeping an eye on things in this area. If you found yourself in an underground fighting arena. Now, first things first, it seems things have already gotten underway. Again, they probably moved the timetable up for some of us and even more so for the others. Keeps things interesting, but also it makes people stick around a bit more. They don't know who's coming or when. And if anyone here is out to stop this sort of thing, they'll be thrown off at one point or another. So, let's go get you checked in. And
Okay.
Luna approaches a hydrate check.
Luna approaches a hydrate. check.
Hydrate check.
Luna approaches a Luxodon, who is standing up over at the edge of this top level, and she walks along the edge and approaches the Luxodon. She talks to them for just a moment. Luna Featherbox, I believe my group is on the list. And he looks down at her and then glances at his list and hands her a card. And on it says 4. And make a perception check, everybody.
Okay.
18.
3.
Oh my
God.
fucking god. Nat
God.
1.
But I also rolled a nat one.
So Tara and Hiccup are
13.
staring at the fight that's going down. What'd you get,
Yeah.
Brutus? And 13
3.
for Ruby. You said 3 for Brutus?
Yeah.
All right, Brutus is just like, oh, the fight.
I think I'm
Tarek-
having a panic attack, honestly.
And Terex, what did you get?
18.
18. Okay. So 18 and 13. So 18, you notice it right away, Terex. The 4, you look down at the arena and you wonder what it means. And you see someone twirling a 2 over at the top of the cage that leads down to this arena. And they're twirling a 2 above it. And that fight is going on right now. Seemingly, you have fight 4.
Gotcha.
And Ruby, after a moment, you sort of follow Terex's eyes and you see the same twirler and catch on to that. And Luna turns around and says, well, looks like that'll be what we're up to. Best we find our way around. Now, you 3, you're number 4, so there's one fight above you. They'll get you checked in down there. And she points down towards a little hallway that seems to lead under to the level equal with the arena. And they'll get you situated down there. Check in with them, hand them this, and hands you the card number 4.
Right.
She hands it to, I guess, Brutus, because you just talked. So,
As we're headed down there, I'm gonna turn to Brutus and say, thanks for looking out for us. Very much appreciated.
Anytime. Really.
If anything needs done, we got your back.
And I yours. Let's do our best.
and the 3 of you head down.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Ruby's gonna give an encouraging thumbs up. You guys got this.
Thanks.
You're gonna be great.
This is 2
That's
thumbs
what I'm
enthusiastically
worried
back.
about.
You're gonna be great, but not too great.
And the Luxodon turns to you. If you'd like to place any bets on them, please do so before the match.
Where do we go to do that?
And with a swish of the trunk, it lifts up and it points in the opposite direction. Hey, Super Dylan. Thanks so much for the raid.
Hey.
Appreciate you. Nice little bump there. Welcome in, folks. We are the Cauldareen Chronicles. We're out here rocking and doing our... Ooh, we are up to 58 right now. Folks, we are the Cauldareen Chronicles, a bi-weekly D&D 5e stream. And we actually have a challenge right now. If we get to 80 viewers at any one point tonight, we will be dressed in all prom outfits next stream. So if y'all help us get to 80 and stick around, we will be in prom outfits next stream. We are so close, just 22 away. So thank you for that. Now hit that 60. All right. So our characters have just made their way to an underground fighting arena, and we're here hopping and popping. You three have made your way down the stairs, and a human looks over to you and says, card.
Here.
And you hand them the card that says number 4, meaning you are the 4th fighter. And they take a peek at it. They look at it both sides and say, line up.
Any rules? Do we work as a team? Individuals? How does it work?
And he laughs and says, well, if you like living, try not to die. If you like dying, go out there.
Thanks.
Hey.
Appreciated.
And he just kind of pushes for you to head on over. And as you step in, you can see that there is a knoll in front of you. And he has 2 swords in each hand, and he's twisting them, and he's moving, and he kind of bouncing from like foot to foot, and like he's getting psyched up and ready to head out. And you hear the end of the previous fight. Well, that sounds like the end. How unfortunate. Now, I'm rather excited for what's coming up next. One of our returning fighters. Please welcome. You hear this voice projected throughout the area. Please welcome back our favorite Knoll warrior, Corbin. And this Knoll hears his name, and the gates open, and he runs out. For fight number 3, please make sure to place your bets. It would be unfortunate to miss out on such an opportunity. And this voice is echoing out throughout as everyone gets in, ready for fight 3. Jumping back to our group, Luna, Terex, and Ruby. Luna looks at you two and says, well, y'all, I suppose we ought to get to digging. I'll go take care of some bets, but if anyone gives you any trouble, tell them you're here with Luna for fight 4. Otherwise, do your thing.
Yeah.
And Luna goes about to search for her own information, as well as to blend in by going to place bets and really seem a woman about the town here in this place.
Probably place some bets too, just and in.
Yeah, to blend in, I'm sure that's what you're going for. Yeah, we can play some bets, but I'm not letting you near the tables. You already told me not to let you do that.
I'm not asking to go to the tables. And well, okay, so I said not to let me go to the tables, but if things turn out well here when we're done, just like a little bit.
Okay, we'll see.
Yeah. Okay, let's get a lay of the land. Let's do loot.
Okay.
We're gonna dig around, pick in the sites. See
Yeah.
what
What are you
things
looking
people
for?
are. I guess first, I think maybe we should just get an idea of the layout of the place, and then maybe circle back to where the bets are, just get an idea of what's going on, if there are any unsavory
Yeah,
specific
I
individuals.
would like to look around as well for any unsavory individuals, but also those who stick out as like who is top dog, I guess.
Okay.
Awesome.
Give me an investigation check.
Investigation? I think I'm good at those.
So many fours tonight. Dear God. That's an 8.
Ooh, but I got a 7. Cool. We're not doing well.
We're not doing well.
We're not doing a good job.
All right, you got a 4 and a 7?
No, an 8. I rolled
8
a
and
8
a
before,
7.
so it's totally
8 and a 7. Okay.
Yeah.
So looking around this area, an 8 and a 7. This place is full of unsavory characters.
Ugh.
This whole building is, and it's hard to pinpoint anyone out of the mix. It's just tons of folks in here, and they are cheering. They are making what seem to be, some folks aren't even paying attention to the fights. They're here to do their thing and make these deals and things like that. But you're not able to pinpoint much from sight.
Okay.
Now back to the trio. You're hearing the fight go on. Ooh, what an exciting turn of events. Didn't expect that one. Now, it looks like they're adding in a bit of flavor. Let's see how they handle this. And you hear the crowd go, and there's a gasp out there, but you can't quite see what's going on because you're blocked from view back where you are because the gate is shut. But there's definitely some fight and interesting things happening down there in the arena. What do you do? What are you doing to get ready for your battle?
At this point, I'm just kind of waiting around and looking at everybody and just say, you think they just hugged out there? Or, yeah, it's definitely what it is. Is I just kind of try and calm my nerves.
Hiccup is doing some stretches, getting limbered up for the match, and he asks to the other two, I'm like, are all three of us going out at the same time? Is it like a 3-on-3 thing, or I don't know what we're doing?
I mean, we have one ticket, so I think that might be the case.
Could be for all three of us. It says we're fight 4. They didn't say anything else specific.
Yeah.
And you hear a ding and then an alarm, and ooh, that brings this one to a conclusion. Well, perhaps we'll have another Knowles champion. Always a fun treat to see out here in the arena. Now, next up, well, bring us to fight 4. A bit of a eclectic group. And the gate opens up on your side, and you can see that the gate ahead of you is open now. What do you want to do? The gate is just opened.
I'm gonna go ahead and tap Brutus on the shoulder and say, good luck, as I cast guidance on her.
Aw. Dope. Thank you.
So you get a D4 to one of your ability checks, which includes initiative. So yeah.
Oh,
Excellent.
very cool. I did not know that.
Learn something new.
Yes.
Yeah.
We
Hiccup
ready to
looks
go?
to the other two, just go, oh, thank goodness we get to work together as a team. I'm okay with this.
Right.
Okay, so we definitely have a chance then.
Yeah.
Mhm.
We do.
All right. And I'm just gonna
As we
tap them both on the shoulder and make my way out.
Brutus has one hand on the sword hilt, which is shaking, and then just puts her other hand on it. Two-handed weapon is like, nope. We gotta fucking do this. Let's go.
as we walk in, I'll also turn around to the other two and say, when we walk in, could you close your eyes for just a moment? Because as we start walking in, I will start holding on the light cantrip and make it get brighter and brighter in my hand as we walk through, until as we walk in, there's a giant flash of light to show
So-
that we've walked in.
As you
Heck
approach,
yeah.
you are
I love
walking
it.
towards the open gate, and then you realize it's a ledge, and the arena is even farther below you.
Oh
Roll
no.
a perception check.
Oh no.
All three of you.
Fucking finally. 24.
That's a nat 20. 22 is my total.
14.
Tear and Hiccup recognize the presence of someone behind them. And as you turn, you see Bennett in full armor and says, "Well, fancy meeting you here, friend. I didn't know you were one for a fight."
You know, we sometimes get a little bored. Good to see you, friend.
Stars contain multitudes, you know?
You know, this is the third time I've seen you. Beginning to make a habit of it.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
really should stop bumping into each other's like the tongues will wag.
Third time
On
we've
the
seen
contrary.
you.
Perhaps we should keep it and continue bumping into each other as he shoves the three of you and he pushes against both Brutus and Hiccup, nudging you off the edge. And he didn't seem to get Tear. And he looks at Tear and for a moment says, "So a bit tougher. Tell me what you've got, kid." And lands a boot directly in the chest as he kicks you off down into the pit. And as Tear lands on the ground, make a dexterity saving throw, Brutus and Hiccup.
Okay.
So you did use a pit. Cool.
It was always going to be the people going into
It was
the pit.
never Terex.
Nat 20.
I'm not
that's
letting
my
my guard
second
down.
nat 20.
There's so much of this fight
I
that you don't know.
If I need to take a picture and send it to you, I
So
will.
nat
That's
20
my
for Hiccup
second-
and Brutus, what'd you
Yes.
get? Nat 20
I
as well?
also got a nat 20.
So the two of you
Would've
get
preferred to
shoved
have that
back
for a hit,
and
but
you
it's fine.
land superhero landing style in. Tear, you get kicked as you fall in and you smash onto the ground because he put some
Wait.
power behind you.
Can I use my nat 20 to like catch Tear instead
No.
of doing like landing? Can I just,
Now
like,
you react to being
Okay.
pushed and you land because you land so well, you turn and see the oncoming attackers as two
there?
as two death dogs come charging at you. Tear, you hit the ground and one jumps at you and it lands on top and it bites at you and misses, and the second one bites at you and misses and you throw it off, and as you were going to, you stand up to show it it's not the only monster on the field.
Yes. As I step on back and I take a step back and look at it and I start growling, and as I do, fur starts growing on my hands and I turn into this dark purple color as it grows, but still the swaths of light are on my arms, on my body, and I start growing in size as well as I turn into a giant bear, so a black bear.
Oh
Yes.
yeah.
All
And
right,
I-
players, roll initiative.
Oh yeah.
Is Bennett fighting with us or against us?
You just shoved us. Because
Well, that's
as
true, he did give us
discussed, he's a
pink.
dick.
He is a dick.
Yeah. Bennett stays being
Oh,
a dick. I'll write that down.
A dick. Just a dick.
Bennett, mega dick.
I liked it when we first met.
Underlined and
But now
bolded.
he hates it.
And I'm just like, he was really cool when we first met him. Now he's a big joke.
But initiative dirty 21 for Brutus. I didn't even use my guidance on it yet. Maybe I should. Even better.
I rolled a 22. So a nat 20 plus 2 for a 22.
Dang.
Dang. I rolled a 9.
Okay. And there we go. Tear, you start us off as you've transformed into a bear, and this dog is directly in front of you. There's one approaching from the other direction, coming from the opposite side where Hiccup and Brutus are. And yeah.
So I'm going to start walking and charging as much as I can towards the dog that had bit me. And I am going to bite right back at it with using my first attack and see if that hits.
Okay.
That is going to be an 8 plus 4 for a 12 to hit.
That hits.
That hits. Okay, so I'm going to sink my teeth deep into its shoulder for. That's a 3 + 2 for 4 or 5 points of piercing damage. And I am going to then also go ahead and use multi-attack because I get 2 attacks per turn. And that same dog that I am holding with my bite now, claw at it and see if that hits with my arm. And that will be a 6 + 4 for a 10.
Does not hit.
Okay. So as I try to hit it, skimp right through, and I will let go and stare back at it and just start growling. And as I start to kind of look around and get a bearing of my surroundings. That's my
Okay.
turn.
Next up is Brutus.
So these dogs, they're not like, these aren't just like some dogs that have been trained to do pit fighting, right? These are like,
These are two-headed death dogs with black ooze dripping from their fangs as they are
Don't
baying at you.
feel bad about attacking that. Cool. I'm gonna go ahead and use a bonus action to go ahead and cast one of I think my Thunderous Smite. I'm gonna go for and then I'm gonna take an attack.
Okay.
Okay. 11 plus does a 18 hit?
Yes.
Okay.
At the one that's coming at you guys, right?
Yes.
Yep.
Cool. And I think no, I'm not gonna use that yet. Okay, so that is 11, 12, 13, 17, 19, 20, 21. It's 22.
22 damage?
Yes.
Okay, because that
And-
was your
and
weapon
two-
is what? And then 2d6 from the Thunderous Smite?
2d6 from the Thunderous Smite, 2d6 from my sword, and then 5 from my strength.
Okay, excellent. So 22?
Yes.
Nice. And anything else?
That is gonna be it for me.
Okay, yeah, you take a hefty hack at this thing, and it does not look pleased with that. And
Cool.
in response, Hiccup.
Okay. For my main action, I would like to throw a firebolt at it. There's only one of these things, right?
There is one in front of you, and there is one in front of Tear.
Okay. I would like to throw as my main action a firebolt at it, but I
Which
also
one?
the one that's in front of me.
Okay.
And for my bonus action, I would like to do Hungry Jaws. I'll just start with the cantrip. 23 to hit.
That'll hit.
Okay, that's a D10. There you go.
Oh, come back.
That is 7 points of fire damage. And let's see here. Hungry Jaws. That I think is an attack action. Yes, it's a bite attack action. Or bonus action, excuse me. If I do get to hit him, I get 3 temporary HP, but we'll find out. I rolled an 18.
That'll hit.
Awesome. So I get 3 temporary HP. Hang on, where's the bite damage is a D6 plus 1. So 3. He loses 3, I gain 3.
Okay. Yeah, that one's not looking great. And Ruby and Terex, you see this fight has begun. Roll a perception check.
11.
12.
Okay. So yeah, you've seen that the fight has begun. You saw Tear sort of roll and then transform. But that's kind of all you see is, oh, they're already at it. And they're fighting some dogs.
We have not seen Bennett though.
Nope. You
Okay,
didn't
cool.
detect anything there. Yep.
Cool.
And so,
Are people cheering like them on and everything?
yeah.
Because if
People
so, Ruby's gonna be like, "You guys got this."
Yeah, people are cheering. People are doing all sorts of stuff.
Cool.
And now it's the creature's turn to respond.
Terex does not cheer. They hope that their friends understand their support, but do not want to outwardly yell about it.
She just stands. She's like, it's
Now-
like a small
Coming at Hiccup does a 19 hit.
Yes.
And a creature flutters down from up above that none of you noted and sinks down and digs its beak into you and latches on.
Ah, shit.
You
Death birds?
Death birds. Oh no.
There are
Take-
thorns.
6 piercing damage,
Okay.
and the Sturge has now attached itself to you.
Ooh, I don't like that.
Oh.
The whom's the what's now?
Now, the next up in order is the dog in front of Tear. It's going to come back at you. Does a 23 hit.
Just a lot. Yes.
And so it bites you once for 8 piercing damage. And
Okay.
you need to make a con save.
Con save. All right, cool. So that will be as a bear, I believe. So that will be, let's see, +2 for my bear. That's a 12 + 2 for 14.
All right. So you survive that. Next up, it uses its other head to bite at you.
Oh my god.
And that is for a 13.
a 13. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. That does not hit. I have 15 AC.
All right. And it bites at you with the other one and doesn't seem to get through the bear hide. And that is its move. Then finally, the other dog is going to bite at Brutus, who has hacked at it.
Yep.
And that is also a 23.
Yeah, that hits.
Dealing. That looks like only 3 piercing damage. But I need a con save from you.
Con save. Okay. That would be a natural 1 over here.
Oh.
Ooh.
Not what you
Ah.
want.
That is not what I want.
So it bites into you, and you are diseased.
No.
You are poisoned.
Wait. Is it a disease though?
It is against disease.
Because I think I might be immune.
Got that paladin immunity.
I'm a paladin. I'm immune to disease.
You're at level 4. You are immune to disease. And so you
Paladin.
see this thick black ooze out of its jaw bite into you, and you're immune, but it burns like hell.
Oh, ow! But also cool.
And your maximum hit points are left unfazed.
You love
And
it.
it's going to bite with its other head against you for a 16.
I think my AC is 16. Yeah.
So it does land another hit
Yeah.
for. This one is for 7 piercing damage, and no disease affects you.
Cool.
And that is what's happening down on the field. Terex and Ruby, what are you doing right now?
Well, I would imagine if we didn't see anyone of note, I guess
would-
probably just keep looking. Or what are you
I
thinking?
think we'd walk around and move a little bit, like under the guise of trying to get a better angle, like watching our people, but really scoping out everything else.
Trying to overhear conversations as well to see if maybe we can find our way, or if I can. If
Okay. Investigation check again.
Okay, hopefully it's
Come
better
on.
this time.
that's not as awful.
Oh, that's much better. Cool. Unnatural 20.
That's a 17.
Okay, cool.
Okay.
Much better.
So
Yeah.
with your 17, Terex, you see Harsnet Oaten amongst the crowd. And seems to be leaning forward and looking down at the group and just cheering. But you see him amongst the group with a few people sitting around him. Ruby, with an unnatural 20, you spot higher up on the other side of the arena a halfling that seems to fit the description of your target,
Cool.
who seems to not even be paying attention to the fight, is chatting with a table of people. And back to the arena. At the top of the order, we have Tear.
Okay, I'm gonna continue tearing into. See what I did there? Into this dog right in front of me as I try once again to go ahead and hit it twice. Once as I bite into it again and see how that helps out. That will be to hit. Oh no! Oh, that's not too bad. That will be a 7 + 4 for an 11 to hit.
Excellent. That 11. Oh, 11?
Yes,
11 will miss.
11 will miss. Okay, so as I try to chomp into it and miss, I'm going to bring my claw in for a underclaw, if you will, and see how that rolls out as well.
Let's go for it.
Much better. 13 + 4 for 17 to hit this time.
Yeah, that hits. 12 AC.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, so that'll be 2d4. So 4 + 3, 7. 7 + 2 for 9 points of slashing damage.
All right.
And
A
just
juicy
an underclaw.
9.
And I'm gonna also turn around to see what's happening. If I can at all make it out to Hiccup.
Yeah, if, to see what's happening in regards to what?
To Hiccup.
Yeah, you're going to try and move?
Well, no, just kind of turn my head around to see what the other two are doing.
Yep, you can see that Hiccup has a creature on them, and you can see that Brutus is going toe-to-toe with another dog.
Go. That's my turn. They're holding their
Okay.
own. We got this.
All right, Brutus.
Gonna take another attack at this dog that I'm up against. So how's this thing look? Does it look pretty beat up or still fairly like hale?
This thing looks really beat up.
All right, and then I'm just gonna take a regular attack. Does a 17 hit?
Yes.
Okay.
Hit it with your best shot.
I reroll
Ba-dum.
1s and 2s. Much better. That is 14 damage.
Okay, and that's with your sword?
That is with my sword. Just a regular
Alright.
attack, no smites or anything.
Describe that for me.
I think these are pretty monstrous things. I'm gonna be going for like those necks. Like 2 heads, too many.
Yeah.
Two
And
heads.
as Brutus brings this sword swing down and goes across, cleanly takes off both heads as this thing lunges at you for another bite. And you have decapitated this thing, and it falls to the ground. Blood splatters across, and the crowd just cheers. Whoa!
Oh, then I get a bonus action attack. If that thing is down.
Yes.
Which I would like to take against the Sturge that is on Hiccup.
Go right ahead.
Let's see. Only 15.
A 15 will hit.
Oh,
Yeah, baby.
dope. Okay. Ones. That is 12 damage to the scourge.
And you hack at this thing. Hiccup, Brutus, make a dexterity check.
Huh?
Is this something that? Oh, the guidance is probably gone now, isn't it?
It lasts for 1 minute.
Does it? Is that something that I could add my guidance to if I do bad?
Yes.
So if it's just a straight dex check, I got 17. I'm worried about critting Hiccup, so I'm just gonna add my guidance.
Okay.
I'm concerned. So that makes it 21.
All right, yeah.
Max on that D4.
So you swing at this thing in such a way that you cut along Hiccup's scales without actually cutting Hiccup. And you take this thing in the front part of the face and you just take off its face. That little sticker is still on Hiccup, but like the literal, you've cut off the body.
It's like a tick when you like, I don't know if anyone's had that.
Oh, God.
Yes, you have just removed the scourge and hacked it down.
Woo!
And that was a good use of your bonus action there. Anything else you're doing?
I'll use my movement to get into melee range with the other dog and be like, yo, you have more to deal with.
Okay.
With this dog. Because it gets that.
Excellent. And anything else?
That's it.
All right. That brings us to Hiccup.
Okay. So the flying leech is dead. It's just that one dog left, right?
Yep.
Cool. I would like to yeet another firebolt at it.
All right. Throw it.
Alrighty. Uh, 17 to hit.
That'll hit.
Awesome. And where'd my D10 go? Odd. Okay. That would be 8 fire damage.
All right. Got it. Okay. Anything else on your turn?
Let me just double check. Yeah, that's it for me for now.
Okay. This thing is going to jump at Tear again. That
He
is
did this
a
for what?
14 to bite at you.
Ah, that misses. 15 AC, baby.
And then
We need
its
one
second
more.
attack, it's going to bite at you for even worse. So it is not doing great, and it nips at you twice and misses. And begins to growl and is making all sorts of sounds and noises. Back to Terex and Ruby up in the stands. Terex, you've just seen the person you met from the Oten family out in the crowd, seeming to just enjoy the match and have a bit of a audience that he is chatting with. And Ruby, you have spotted your main target, Altair the Halfling, across the area, entertaining some folks.
I'm gonna kind of like bump a shoulder up against Terex, like kind of just like a friendly way, then nod toward Altair like,
Yeah, I'm going to, subtly gesture toward Harsnet.
cool.
Do we want to split up? Do we want to go one or the other? I feel like I just saw the chat. Do we want to go one over the other? Because I feel like we should pay attention to our quarry, but I don't know what Haas might know. A wise leader.
Oh, wise leader. Yeah. Altair knows what we look like, correct? Or knows...
It's safe to say he probably at least knows what I look like. He may not know that you're connected.
Okay.
I assume that Bennett would have told him.
Yeah, well, that's true. We can split up, but stay within the eyesight of each other, or at least best we can.
Yeah.
And with that, I'll kind of walk, not like up to Altair, but I want to get close enough, still watching the match, but my attention is very much going to be on the conversations they're having, and I'm trying to overhear that.
Okay. So you're trying to get within Altair's like hearing range?
Yeah, like not. I'm gonna look like I'm focused on the match and supporting, which I am, but also.
Okay. So give me a stealth check to be sort
I'm
of
good at that.
yeah.
Good at that. That's an 18.
Oh no. I just remembered Corso's
Okay.
earlier TikTok saying 19 is good, but it's not perfect.
yeah.
So yeah, with
Corso's videos on
18,
display.
you seem to
Contact range.
get close or within range, and you can start to hear some conversation. But the battle's going on. There's lots of cheering, so you got to get pretty close to hear in on this. Otherwise you're getting bits and words.
Okay.
So. But you're moving in and starting to get within range. Terex, you are moving towards Harsnet Oten.
Yes.
All right. Are you approaching, or are you trying to get within hearing, or what are you doing?
I'll approach, casually. Like, I don't want to, like, intrude, but just like, oh, hi. Nice happen to see you. Casually.
And
Breezy.
so as you approach, Harsnet looks up, and you see a smile cross his face as he stands up and he extends a hand and says, "Well, I knew you had good taste in weaponry, but I didn't know how much." And he extends a hand to take yours,
Yeah, I give mine.
and he gives that same bow again, but he doesn't break eye contact this time, even as he bows.
Mm-hmm.
And he comes back up, but he's very much a different air about him here. And he says, "So, a lady of the sport."
Lady of many things.
Sit. Tell me about it. And
Okay.
he makes a motion, and two of the people sitting at the table leave.
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, I sit down.
And he sits and crosses his leg. He crosses his leg and says, "So, did we find them to be of your liking? Hey, thank you for the raid.
Hey, words.
Woo! Words. We got another boost here. I appreciate that. We got up to 61. We're so close to our 80 goal. We're trying to get to 80. If we get to 80, we have to come in prom. I'm gonna do a thing right now where you know what? I'm allowed to do this because we're in the good old Twitch stuff. Folks, we're in the middle of a battle, as well as like trying to get information out of people. So
Yes. It's both of the things. We get to both figure out how to beat them and beat them. We
Also-
got the hands and the brains.
My cat's on camera right now because she's jumped onto my chair. I will get my cat a bow tie if we get to 80 viewers. She will also be in a prom outfit.
Yes.
That will happen.
I would love to see
just
Panger
tempting
dressed
everyone
up.
with that. Like,
let's see. All right, I just tagged the whole Discord to let them know to help bump us. We'll see what we can do.
Where's
Let's
our
go.
Discord at? Let's go.
All right, so you have just sat, and he says, "So I take it the daggers were to your liking?"
Yes, they're quite beautiful. I actually brought one with me here. You never know.
Well, it's certainly not the only beautiful weapon here.
You're not entirely wrong. So,
On the beauty or the weapon part, I haven't quite decided what you are.
Guess you'll just have to find out.
And he turns and faces back to the match to see what's happening, which brings us to the top of the order with Tear.
as I try and go for one last bite to see if this works. As I try to bite in and kind of just wiggle this dog around and try and throw it away. But we'll see if that lands with my attack.
All right.
And that will be, come on, bear baby. Yeah, that's a 14 plus 4. Hell yeah.
All right, that's
All
gonna
right.
land.
Very nice. And that will be d6 plus 2. Come on. That's a 5 points of piercing damage as I try and bite into it and see if that ends it.
You bite into it, but he's still standing.
Okay, well, then I'm going to go ahead then as I bite into it, bring in my clawed paw again and see if that hits as well. Slash into
right.
the other head at the same time. Let's see. For much worse, that is going to be a 4 plus 4 for 8 to hit.
8 to hit, no luck.
Dang. All right, well, that is my turn then, as I kind of take my head back a little bit and I rear at it and start growling right back at it.
Okay. Now, as we do this, it takes us to Brutus as you growl at this thing.
Great. Let's take that attack, baby. No, I'm probably no. That's a 9.
Does not hit. You run over and you swing at it, and that 9 does not land.
Yeah. All right. That's everything. I don't think I've got any good bonus actions that I want to use
Okay.
at this moment, so that's all.
Hiccup, your follow-up.
I follow up with another firebolt because why not? Also, too soon to start trying to tempt fate with the wild surge.
Is it
In my
though?
opinion.
Is it?
Yes.
The two
Come on,
people in
give
the
the
arena
people
with
a
you
good
all like,
fight.
what is it?
Yes. That would be a 15 to hit.
Okay, 15 will hit.
Alrighty. Get my D10. 6 points of fire damage.
All right, this thing isn't looking great, but it is now ready to respond.
All right.
It turns, and Brutus, you are up in its face as well as Tear.
Heck yeah.
I'm going to say odd is Brutus, even is Tear. It rolled a 22, so that's even, that's Tear. So Tear, it's after you. That's a 22 to hit. So that's going to deal 3 damage, and I need a con save.
Okay, cool. So my bear has a +2 for that con save, and that is a 10 plus 2 for 12.
Just tying it, you survive.
Yes!
All right, again, odd is Brutus, even is Tear, because you're up in its face. That is
Eat
an
me!
18, so it's also after Tear still.
Dang it.
It's fine.
Dealing a total of another 3 damage piercing,
Victory.
and I need another con save.
All right, come on, pretty Tear dice. That's not good, bro. That's a 4 plus 2 for 6.
All right, you have become poisoned until you are cured. Every 24 hours that elapse, you must repeat that saving throw, reducing your maximum hit points by a D10 on a failure.
Oh,
It lasts
Oh,
until
no.
you're cured.
I'm good.
Paladin, we're fine.
Yeah.
And if if the hit points, if the disease kills you, reduces you to 0, you're dead. Okay. That ends its turn. Jumping back into the crowd, Ruby, you have approached Altair and you see him talking, and you can now hear him joking with the folks. Now, as you know, I'm not one to sort of gloat, and someone laughs at that notion, and Altair says, much, but I have the sort of things we need. Posture check, thank you.
Yep.
Now, you know me. I can get just about anything you need. So, if your family ever needs anything, just let me know. We're working on something special, something new and exciting. You're gonna love it. We're still in roll a perception check.
Oh, that's not too bad. It's 17.
All right.
16 plus 1.
We're still in the testing phase, but this thing, it's gonna be dynamite.
I don't like that phrasing at all.
Non mi
And
piace.
you hear that sentence as he finishes that. Anything else you want to do?
Can I make note of what the people he's talking to look like? You don't have to describe them like now, but as just a thing, I would like Ruby to make a mental note of who they are.
Yeah, absolutely. And he's talking to a group, and I'll make a note to give them that description of what they look like. But also, his final line is, "I'd love to have you by sometime and get you sorted." And that is the comment there. Over to Terex. He leans back now and says, "So, what are you here for tonight? Business or pleasure?"
A little bit of both. I have some friends who are, and I gesture towards the pit fight, like to be supportive.
Ah, doing quite well so far. Handling themselves. Death dogs are no joke. Nasty bite they have.
Well, they're good at what they do. Did you put any bets on the fight?
I know a decent fighter when I see one.
Just making sure, you can trust your character, your judgment character.
And he nods and he says, "Well, you can certainly trust me."
What brings you here? Just enjoy the scenery.
And he says, "Well, business, usually, but it's always a pleasure."
Anything interesting?
And he make a persuasion check.
Oh, I'm not good at those. Ah. 11.
And he says, the usual. Folks looking for unique items that have yet to be made. Folks wanting to add a little flavor to the battles. And just people ready to part with their money.
What money is for, isn't it?
Well, that's certainly the way we like it. Now, for business, is there something I could help you with?
Okay, out of character. Amelia totally forgot what we were supposed to be doing other than tracking these guys.
So the bits of information is they have those tattoos that you were told the the Blade Songs received them from Altair and Bennett. You do not know how, you do not know why, and there is some confusion because the only people who seem to know that sort of technology was sort of pioneered in Cauldareen. And so they were very interested to know who and how and why the fuck.
Gotcha. Okay. Perfect. I don't write such things in my notes. I only focus on the important stuff, like what drinks everyone orders.
Yeah.
Yeah. I had a rumor of interesting application of arcane sigils. I'm trying to learn more about it. Things that granted people power.
I am going to roll a check for them to see what they know. Shit, that's a nat 20.
Oh no.
And
they
so
know all. They are God. Just kidding.
Well, depends. There's all sorts of things, but I suppose I might know a thing or two.
Right,
Can't say I offer it, but at the very least, I've got information.
Right. And what could persuade you to be in more of a sharing mood with that information?
Well, how do you like to persuade people? And we jump back to Tear on the battlefield. You're up.
Yeah, there's the homeboy dog still in front of me, so I'm gonna try and go ahead and bite into it again. See if that goes.
All
And-
right, go for it.
Ah, dang it! What's up with those 4s? That's a 4 + 4 for a 8. That wouldn't hit, I believe.
Correct.
Cool. So I'm gonna go ahead and use my claw then.
Okay.
And try to just kind of claw it right in the right face, if you will.
Give it.
Oh no, that fell right off the table. Okay, much better. That's a 17 + 4, and that will make a 21.
Okay, that hits.
Yeah. Okay, cool. And that'll be 2d4 + 2. Oh no. 5 + 7 points of piercing damage as I slash its right face and hope for it to fall.
And
And
as
start
you slash
growling
at the
harder.
right face, you slash it in such a way that it staggers back. And that head kind of hangs low. And the other head finally gives way, and the creature falls after staggering backwards.
All right. I'm gonna start looking up to see if there's any more of those freaking succulent ball, or like whatchamacall them, birds, and just hope there isn't. Oh God.
And there are no other creatures in the field.
Okay.
Ooh, what an exciting development. Well, give it up for match 4. AKA, no, at this point, you look up and you see someone sitting atop the cage. And they have a collar on with a glowing symbol in the middle, which perhaps is projecting their voice. And you see a tabaxi hanging from up in the rafters. And he quickly clambers up and calls out, "Now, a very interesting fight indeed. Give it up for our newcomer." And the
Exciting.
crowd is cheering and making some noise. Some folks are like slamming their drinks down. They're like, "Damn dogs!" Like upset that you guys made it out.
I'm gonna pull my hood over my head.
I'm gonna look for Bennett. Where is he?
And you look back and you see Bennett crouched with a big ol' battle axe over his like shoulders, and he's sitting at the perch. There is a ladder that goes back up where you were kicked off,
Oh, you
and
punk.
Bennett is just sitting there waiting.
I'm going to give one last roar as I stand back on 2 feet, and just kind of give one last show of bareness. And I'm going to start, as I'm roaring, transforming back into my tear form, my regular tear form, and I'm going to turn back towards where Bennett is.
And
Start walking back up there.
yeah, someone on the field walks out to retrieve the corpses and clear the field for the next fight. And they usher for you to climb back up the ladder and get out of the pit.
Well, I'd like to say something to Bennett on the way out.
So you have to climb up the ladder first, and Bennett's at the top of the ladder. And what's the order?
Brutus like just goes straight to the ladder. She's like, no. I have the biggest health bar out of any of us. I'm going to the top of that ladder first. Doesn't
And,
say that, but eyes, as I've said in the past.
and you get to the ladder and you start climbing up.
I'll go
And-
last.
and you make your way up, and Bennett turns his head and looks over at you, and he has a bit of a smile across, and his
Fucking asshole.
his fangs are descending, just his very jagged teeth, and he says,
Kick this bitch.
not bad. And up next the ladder comes Tear, and he stands up and he says, perhaps you're made of tougher stuff than you look.
It's gonna take a much higher fall for me to die, and I'd very much rather not be kicked again. Thank you very much.
Tough isn't in looks.
And he looks down at the final one climbing up, Hiccup, and he reaches out a hand as Hiccup's climbing the ladder.
All right, I'll take his hand.
And with amazing strength, hoists you up to level
Yoink.
the couple of final steps, and looks you square in the face and says, not bad. Magic.
Yeah. You're welcome to kick me around all you want, but don't kick my friends around. I'll get a little hostile.
Well, I do like how you handled yourselves out there. Not bad at all. And he turns his back sort of to the arena, and he's standing at the edge of it and says, perhaps we got off on the wrong foot. Who
Well.
knew that two warriors would cross paths as such?
I mean, your foot was kind of on my chest, so I feel like it was hard to get off on the right foot. But like,
Now, if you'll excuse me, I believe I'm up next. And he says, stick around. If you like the show, perhaps we can talk. And he jumps off backwards. And his battle axe is still up there with you guys as he kind of casts it aside, and he jumps off. And he lands in the arena. And you hear the announcer.
Don't die.
You hear the announcer call out, welcoming back one of our absolute favorites, Bennett. And Bennett looks out and smiles. As always, showing off some of their latest advancements. And Bennett holds up his hand, hydrate. And the battle axe that's up there with you vanishes. And it appears in Bennett's hand. And Bennett lowers his battle axe to the ground, and he draws a circle in the ground. I will not move from this spot. And he raises it up in the air as the gates open, and out come rushing several different demon-related dogs and hordes of rats rushing towards Bennett. And the horde engulfs, and the fight begins. Back up to Ruby. You've just heard this information. What do? You saw the conclusion of the fight. Your teammates have just walked off the field. And you see and heard Bennett's arrival. At this point, you see Altair turn around, but he doesn't know who you are, so he just turns around and looks down to see Bennett's on the field, and his attention is on the field now.
He doesn't know who I am, right? Like,
Correct. Yeah, he has no clue who you are.
cool. I'm just gonna stand there and watch.
And so if you stay there, then you can hear him say, now, you're going to like this. And he says that, and Bennett is fighting, and he's casting several off using his weapon, and he is a beast down there. He grabs one of the dogs that jumps at him with his bare hands and uses the axe in the other to hack off one of the heads, and he throws it aside and then begins to go just fists while he throws his battle axe up into the air, and he's just laying waste to some of these things. Now, Terex, you're over there, and the question was asked, how do you typically persuade people?
Well, there's usually money. It's a straightforward one. An exchange of information, although I'm not quite sure what you're interested in that I might have. Always holding a blade to someone's throat, but that seems like it would perhaps dampen our burgeoning friendship. So, I was generally offering them something they want. What is it you want?
And I'm going to make a check here. That is a natural 20 again.
I don't know if that's good or bad for me, is the thing.
Which daggers do you have on you right now?
The new ones.
You see him twirl his fingers as he is now holding one of those daggers. With his sleight of hand check, he has stripped it off of you and holds the point towards his throat and says, I mean, you certainly could try.
Be ashamed to ruin that coat with blood, though.
Well, I could always just cast it off. And he hands back your dagger.
Oh, that doesn't answer my question. What sort of thing are you interested in? You know what I want, but I'm not a mind reader.
Perhaps we can talk about it after. Unless you'd like to leave early.
I think I want to see how this fight turns out. But I've got nowhere else to be.
It's certainly going to be a good one. And he turns back to look at the field. And everyone, the three of you, Terror, Brutus, and Hiccup, you've gotten out of the pit and you were standing at the top. What are you opting to do?
I'm gonna wait and see. I don't want him to be the only one who knows what's going on. I want to know what he can do too.
Okay.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna just clean the sword because rust, sword killer. Sheathe the sword and then just deeply analyze this fight. I want to know how this dude fights.
I think we're all on the same page with that one. We're just like, okay, what
Yeah,
you gonna do? What's you about Bennett? Because
And
hear about
you
him
see-
taunting us, really. I just want to know, what is he about?
So you see him hack through this and this other dog, and then some skeletons start to advance. And one has bitten him and is holding down his arm. And two of the skeletons have come out and they've grabbed onto his legs. So they're grappling him. And he looks around. And this, Ruby, you notice Altair lean in even more. And he looks up in his direction. Bennett looks in Altair's direction. And Altair nods. And then you see sparks of electricity cross over Bennett's body. Everyone make an insight check.
Gladly.
This is Thor. We are fighting Thor. I hate it here.
What are you talking about? Tarek isn't here.
Sorry, what kind of check was that?
This is a insight.
I don't add anything to that.
That's
Just
a whole
hearing this
4.
music.
16.
17.
Damn it.
7.
5.
Okay, so the highest was
17.
17, and I heard a 16
For Brutus.
Brutus. Okay, Ruby, especially as a warrior, and same with Brutus. Bennett wasn't outgunned. He didn't seem overwhelmed to you. Yes, he was grappled. Yes, someone was physically on him. But from the way he was moving, he said he wouldn't leave that circle. And he still hasn't. So the fact that he cast his weapon down, it doesn't seem like this is out of desperation. Whatever he's up to, it's just to show it. And the electricity crackles across his body as these other skeletons start trying to pile onto him. And there's about 12 of them out there. And then a burst of energy as Thunderwave casts them out. But it comes in a 360 bubble around him, as if it was cast twice. Knowing what you know, and knowing what to look for, you see them now. A tattoo on either bicep, glowing.
Nice.
And slowly dissolving as that blast happens. And then he looks forward, and one on his forehead glows. And a fireball descends on the arena. And it crashes centered on his location. And as all of these things get blasted and melted away, you see him standing there, burning on his skin, suffered from the damage, yet unflinching, and as promised, having not moved at all. And he looks over at the seared flesh, and he holds up his hand one final time. And in the palm of his hand, you see one more tattoo appear. And as it too fades, so do his wounds.
Heck.
Your wounds, Tat? Damn, I want one of those.